it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow. So glow.
You're fired.
It means that we punched our ticket to go try to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every f***ing game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy, and today we are going to have a live watch party for the Patriots Broncos AFC Championship Game. Unfortunately, it's not Patriots Bills, but as Bills fans, we are getting used to exiting the playoffs. Well, at least under Sean McDermott, that is. Hopefully, whoever the next head coach is of the Buffalo Bills, we don't have that problem. Hopefully, with the next head coach, we get to a Super Bowl and we win a Super Bowl. That's one thing, obviously, we all want. That's one thing the Buffalo Bills haven't gotten, obviously, right? I've been a fan since 1989. I am still waiting for that championship parade to happen in Buffalo. And look, guys, you know, it was time to move on from McDermott. He had 9 seasons to get the job done. That's 9 long seasons. We gave him plenty of time. So for those who are still crying, stop it. All right, just move on and accept that he's fired and accept whatever new head coach we're going to hire, and let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's make it happen this time around, right? And I'm hoping that coach is Brian Dable, to be honest with you. I had a lot of time to reflect on it, and I think he is our best. He is the best candidate for the job, to be honest with you guys. I think he come in and get this offense back on track the way it should be. I'll get to all you guys' comments in a minute. Give me 1 minute. Let me just put a poll up in the chat. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna start a poll, and it's a real easy poll. Real easy poll. Who you got today? Patriots or Broncos? All right, give me 1 second. All right, Patriots. This is an easy one. I mean, I mean, now look. I'm going to rephrase that. Who you got winning today? Now, the easy answer should be more than likely the Patriots, right? All right, that poll is up for you guys. So I'll be checking in on that poll, going back and forth on that. Just a heads up, at halftime, I'll be letting my little one outside because it's going to be a long stream, as you guys know, right? 3 hours of football here, a little over 3 hours. So at halftime, I'll be back, take her to the POTTY. All right, here we go. Tommy, I have a bet with my family, our Broncos fans. All right, I'm rooting for the Broncos. I think a lot of Bills Mafia are rooting for the Broncos. I don't care. I got to be honest with you. It doesn't matter to me. But I get it. I get a lot of Bills fans are going to, they don't want to see the Patriots go back to another Super Bowl or potentially win another Super Bowl. But it is what it is. I mean, guys, we can't be mad because we ain't there, right? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because they figured it out, right? Just because they got themselves a head coach that knows what the hell he's doing. Year one, already potentially going to a Super Bowl with a second-year quarterback, right? I mean, wild. You know what I mean? Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, man. How old are you turning? What up, Tommy? Rappaport says they may consider Rivers as head coach. Nah. If anything, I can see Rivers potentially coming in as like a quarterback coach under Brian Dable. If Brian Dable's the one that's hired. I think that would be a risky play for Brandon Beane and Terry Pegula to hire a guy that's never, coached outside of high school football. Like that is, boy, you're putting your job on the line. Not Terry Pegula, he could care less, right? Like, he owns the fucking team, right? If shit goes sideways, what does he care? He'll point the finger at Brandon Beane and fire Brandon Beane, and life goes on. They're on for the next head coaching job and GM job, right? But for me, if I'm Brandon Beane, even if Terry Pegula, for some reason, thinks highly of Phillip Rivers, I am doing everything in my power to persuade him away from that idea. Because, like I said, ultimately, your job's on the line here. Let's be real. Like, I believe in Brandon Beane. I know a lot of you guys don't. Understandable. But that's why I said, like, who's coming over to We Believe in Bean Island, right? So far, there's a few people. So far, it's me and Mikey, Dan Mitchell, Sophia, I believe she said she's coming on over to Bean Island. There's a couple other people. I believe Scott Blakely, who's always in the chat here. He's coming on over to Bean Island. We believe in Bean Island. So, look, man, I believe he gets the job done right, but it starts with the head coach. Absolutely. If he fails with that, he's gone. And honestly, if he hires like Joe Brady or something, like I'm going to have to leave the island pretty quick. Y'all could stay or do what you want, but that would be a instant a disaster, in my opinion. Or Phillip Rivers, right? And I'll be honest with you, if it winds up being Phillip Rivers, I almost would think that's more of a Terry Pegula decision than a Brandon Beane. I just can't see Brandon Beane taking a swing at a guy that has zero experience with coaching at an NFL level. I mean, I'm not even a fan of, and I'll get back to your comments, I'm not even a fan of younger coaches that haven't even been coordinators. Like, I get it. There's McVay. He succeeded, but boy, that is a risky play. I'm not saying go ahead and get an old head, right? But I want a little experience, right, in the NFL circuit, right, of coaching circuit. So even with that, I know there's a lot of talk about Davis Webb. I get it, right? That everybody's saying what a brilliant mind he is and all that, but he hasn't even been an OC. Like, for me, it's a risky play when you're moving on from a 9-year, playoff coach in McDermott, right? I'm just saying, So for me, I think Brian Dable's the best option for now. You know what I mean? And we'll see what happens. But they're doing their job. They're interviewing many different candidates. I get it. New England wins easy. Yeah, I don't see a way, Ravens, that the Broncos pull this out. I'll say this right now, though, and I said this on my AFC East Shakedown show Saturday. If the Broncos find a way to win, to beat the Patriots, as a Patriots fan, I would say, if I'm a Patriots fan, I would say, what a waste of a season. And that would be too bad because it's actually been a really good season for them, right? Like Drake May, the second year, how his development has gone. The head coach already getting, Vrabel already getting them to an AFC Championship game. But boy, if you fail against Denver with Stidham, like, it would just be a waste. It would be a wasted season. Big time disappointment for New England. But I just don't see it happening. I don't. I see this game being close in the beginning, sort of like the Houston game, Texans-Patriots game. But then you could see the Patriots pulling away at some point because I just don't think the Broncos offense can get going. And the Patriots defense is not, they're not bad. They're a good defense. So you got a good defense going against a Stidham who, not the best quarterback in the world. He's not terrible, but yeah, I don't like their odds. I don't like the odds. What up, Robert? Good day. I appreciate you guys rocking with me, by the way. I'm going to get to all your comments, by the way. I promise you. Or I'm at least trying my best, right? I'm by myself, y'all, so bear with me. Mikey usually helps me with the chat, but you know how I do. I go solo a lot. Mikey, probably just chilling out in California, and he's watching the game, enjoying this offseason. All right, here we go. Sylvester Dog Noah, Tommy, there is a new report that Brian Daboll is going to be interviewed with Penn State. I hate the feeling of thinking the Bills are going to hire Rivers or Davis Webb or Joe Brady. I don't think it's going to be Joe Brady. Joe Brady can go kick rocks. I just don't. I think that would be probably the absolute worst decision that they can make. Honestly, I would take. I'd rather take a chance on Phillip Rivers than Joe Brady. There's nothing I saw on Joe Brady that tells me he's head coach material. Maybe clearly some other NFL teams think that. They're obviously interviewing him. But I want nothing to do with Joe Brady. Matter of fact, I want nothing to do with any of the coaching staff that was under Sean McDermott. Right? And I'm not saying they were all bad, but I want a clean slate. Right? And honestly, if I'm the Bills, I'm not fucking around here. You don't want to fuck around too long, and your top candidates are getting hired elsewhere. Right? Like, you don't want to play that game waiting around for somebody, like a Kubiak, right? And there's no guarantee Kubiak wants this job. I'm just saying. Or, maybe he goes back, right, to Seattle. Anything can happen, right? And for me, I'm not letting, a guy like Daboll off the, walk away because we're hesitating, right? For me, if they believe in Daboll, if the interview went good, which I would think it did because they have a history together, I think it's a no-brainer. I got to be honest with you guys. I know some of you guys are on the fence with this, but I just think it makes total sense to hire Brian Daboll as your next head coach. Will it work out? Listen, only time will tell. I can't predict the future, guys. But I can only tell you what I feel right now at this moment is the best decision for the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to Bean Island. Yes, Weston. Dude, if Diggs and May go, oh, man. Yeah, listen, it's more unlikely, right? Like, come on. But at the same time, I don't think they will go through all these interviews just to hire Joe fucking Brady. Brian Daboll is the right choice. He's literally a plug and play. He knows the Bills already. Abso-fucking-lutely, Sylvester. He's familiar. Not only that, he's very familiar with Brandon Beane, very familiar with Terry Bagula, very familiar with the people in the building, meaning, the other, everybody that does, the people in the kitchen, the people in the shipping, the security, and then, of course, most importantly, the players themselves, right? He has a history with most of them, right? Because a lot of these players have been here a while. And then the most important thing is Josh Allen, right? He was here with Josh Allen rookie year pretty much, right? He's the one that groomed Josh Allen. I believe he came in his second year, I believe it was 2019. I could be wrong on that. I got to go back and look actually on that. But he groomed Josh Allen. He helped Josh Allen as far as his growth. He also made an offense that fit Josh Allen, right? And then also he got in Brandon Beane's ear, and Sean McDermott told him, this is what I need to make this work in this offense, right? I need players like Cole Beasley. I need players like John Brown. I need players like Stephon Diggs in 2020, right? Emmanuel Sanders. Like, that offense catered to Josh Allen. That's what fit Josh Allen. Why do you think Josh Allen's numbers, he had the best numbers under Brian Daboll? Brian Daboll understood how what made Josh Allen successful. He also knew what his weaknesses were, and he stayed away from them, right? He didn't force him to play a certain way that didn't really complement Josh Allen's style as a quarterback. All right, so this is a watch party. So, so the game is going on. It just started. It's second and 9, and the Broncos chose to run the ball again. It's 3rd and 9. It looked like he lost a yard, but from early on, what it looks like the Broncos are probably going to have to do here, and what they're trying to do, is establish the run. The problem is, though, the Broncos really don't have great running backs, and their offensive line is okay. So, average running backs, offensive line average, quarterback average to below average. This is going to be tough. Stidham back to throw. Stidham under pressure. Stidham barely got the ball out. Boy, they were putting some heat on Stidham. 4th and 9 coming up. Broncos are going to punt. I mean, that was a quick 3 and out for the Broncos offense. And honestly, boy, he is very lucky he got rid of the ball when he did, because that guy was creeping up around the corner. Broncos set the punt here, 4th and 9, and that was about as bad as a start as you can get for the Broncos offense. And that's kind of what we all thought was going to be the case, right? Can I plead the 5th on the vote? Hey, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hey, how you doing, man? Appreciate you jumping on board to this stream, man. You guys, if you guys are new, do me a favor. You know, because I always forget to tell you. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. This way you guys know when I'm live, and it also helps with my channel, helps the growth of my channel, man. And by the way, I've been noticing a lot of new faces in here, so I appreciate you guys, all the newbies that are, joining Mafia Sports Report. And one more thing, one more announcement here, just in case. As you guys know, or maybe some of you don't know, I live in Detroit, and we are getting slammed with snow. I'm looking out the window now, and it is bitter cold here. So, I did lose power early on, right before I went hit live. Luckily, the power came on, the internet came back on. If for some reason this cuts out, I'm letting you guys know why. If the electric comes back on right away, internet, I'll probably be back on within, 10 minutes. But if not, what I'll do is more than likely I'll put I'll leave a comment in the chat, because I'll have my phone, and I'll let you guys know that unfortunately the stream is going to end. So just a heads up in case I freeze up or whatever the case may be. It might be darkness retreat for Bills fans if Diggs makes the Super Bowl. I don't care. I really don't care. It's about winning the Super Bowl at the end of the day. And if the Patriots get there, of course they have an opportunity to, but I just think Seattle and LA is really, really tough opponents. I think they're better opponents, especially on with their offense. Listen, Seattle and especially the Rams have a high-powered offense. I like the Patriots defense, but I just don't see them slowing either one of those teams down. And then on Seattle side, their defense is legit. The Rams have a good defense, but the Seattle, they got like 3 corners that are dogs over there. Like, they are tough to pass on. So I just don't know if the Patriots would have a shot against either one of those teams. But who knows? Listen, man, once you're in there, you know, anything can happen. Oh my God, May almost threw an interception. That was a terrible pass by May in like double coverage. It looked like. Just a bad decision. Let me see here on the replay what May was looking at. May was in shotgun. Oh, there was like 3 defenders there. It looked like a linebacker was hanging out, kind of spying him. That was a bad throw. Bad decision. That could have been really bad because intercepted there. That could be taken to the house. They were at the 20, I think, at the time. So they're punting right now in their own end zone. See, goes to about the 45. No yardage on the return there, so it's a good special teams tackle, but they're still going to have good field position in about the 45. Denver's 45. Eric, he is on Bean Island. Welcome, dude. Welcome aboard to Bean Island. It's great times here. We don't have, you know, people calling up screaming about Sean McDermott. We don't have, you know, we don't have negative people talking shit about Brandon Bean and all that bullshit. Look, Sean McDermott did a good job here, but the time is to move on. These callers, these people calling up, you know, the radio stations, you know, they got problems, right? Like, they are 1,000% not welcome on We Believe in Bean Island, right? Like they are not they are not welcome here at all. Let me see if I can pull that back up. For those that missed it, let me see if I can find it real quick here for you guys. I believe I have it here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Let me see here. Give me 1 second, guys. I think I could find it because it is crazy. I mean, like the people, like, people just amaze me, honestly. Like, in general, like, you know, you guys know me. I got a lot to say. Some things I don't say on here because it's a sports show, but like, this world in general that we're in right now, like society is just fucked. I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys. It is just fucked. Okay, let me see. I gotta pull it up now. All right. Let's see. Here we go. I mean, you know what this lady has, right? This lady has, you know, short purple hair. Right. So here we go. Let's put that. Now, you know, this could scare you.
Most of all, Faith, I wish you well, Sean McDermott, because wherever you go, you will be a success, and I hope you win a Super Bowl. And to you, Brandon Bean, you better show up. You better show up, because the wrong man got fired, in my opinion. You better show up. All my eyes are going to be on you. You think you got in Terry Pagula's ear? You may have, but I don't have the rest of my life. I want a Super Bowl right now.
Okay, first of all, whose fucking wife is this? Like, look, man, like, I feel terrible for you if that's your wife. Or if that's your significant other. Whatever. I mean, maybe she doesn't even have any kids. I mean, I feel terrible for the person that has to deal with that on a daily basis. I mean, are you really that upset that Sean McDermott got fired? Like, did you cry? Did you go to bed crying? Like, I mean, wow. To call a radio station like that, acting a fool, yelling, screaming, you know, it's just wild to me. Tommy, I honestly don't want the Jacksonville OC because he is too young and he had Leon Cohen by the side. Yep. So how would we even how would he even pick out his coaching staff? No Davis Webb either. Way too buddy. Yeah, that's exactly my point. Like, I'm just not feeling right now, a younger head coach or a, like a Rivers who hasn't coached really at all at any type of professional level to come to a team that just lost a coach that's been here a very long time. We are still a playoff team, in my opinion, right? Whatever coach we bring in here. But once again, are we just trying to be a playoff team again? Or are we trying to be a Super Bowl caliber team? There's a big difference. And that's why I kept trying to tell a lot of you guys out there that were defending McDermott over and over and over. He was a good coach. He was a playoff coach. But outside of that, he wasn't a Super Bowl caliber head coach. I mean, the proof is there. All right, let's get back to the game. It's 3rd and 10. Stidham back to throw. Stidham going deep. He has a guy wide open. Or not wide open, but he had about a good 5-yard separation. Wow. Denver Broncos 1st and goal. What a throw by Stidham. I have to give him credit. That hit him. That hit him on the run. Meaning, it kind of, yeah. I mean, that throw was about as good as you can get. He had to slow up a little bit, but that was a nice throw to Mims. And that is a 1st down for Denver. They are 1st and goal. Wow. On a 3rd and 10, they take a shot deep. I'm going to tell you, like I told you before, if Sean Payton could pull this one out, boy, oh boy, you got to give that man a lot of credit, right? For figuring a way to beat a good Patriots team, a good Patriots defense with a backup quarterback. That would be an amazing accomplishment, even if they don't win the Super Bowl, which I don't think they would, even if they get in, just like New England. But man, what a start here for Denver. If you're a Denver fan, you are ecstatic right now. I mean, that's a great sign early on from your backup quarterback. All right, here we go. 1st to goal. I promise you I'm going to try to get to your comments as best as I can. By the way, if you guys see any pop-up, like stupid bots that come in here, just go ahead and just hit delete, like ban you, whatever you guys say. Not ban user, but I think there's like a delete or a report. You could report it, and then it will delete it. But I'm usually good with that. So just a heads up. Just getting in, what was your thoughts on the new Tyler Dunne article? I haven't read it yet. I would love to get Tyler Dunne on this channel to interview him. I reached out to him on X. He hasn't replied back. It is what it is. I'm not the biggest YouTube channel out there. I get it. So I don't really know if that matters or not. But I would still love to get an opportunity to pick his brain as far as, the initial article that was written about Sean McDermott. Touchdown, Denver Broncos. That was a beautiful play call by Sean Payton. And the Denver Broncos are going to go up 7-0 after this extra point. So Cortland Sutton, touchdown. Great play design there. Had the quarterback rolling out there. Stidham was rolling out. And, got Sutton in the corner of the end zone. So it was a play-action pass, like a bootleg. And Sutton was wide open, pretty much going to the corner of the end zone. So, great play call. Listen, I get it. Like, New England's probably thinking the Broncos are going to be run heavy because of Stidham. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Broncos are coming out passing. Like, I mean, except for that first kind of drive where they ran twice on 1st and 2nd. Outside of that, though, look, I mean, it seems to me, like right now at least, that Sean Payton is trusting Stidham. So, Broncos up 7-0. Wow. Tommy, another thing I like about Brian Daboll hire is he will get the Bills players energized for the playoffs. Sean just didn't get the team ready or didn't come up with the energy. That's a great point, Sylvester. My buddy over at Ralph Rant has talked about that as well. McDermott, that just wasn't his style, right? He wasn't a, he didn't get on the sideline and kind of get in your face or really like get energized the sideline. Like he clapped a lot. Like, we got a lot of claps from Sean McDermott. This is, do I have that? Do I have any of that? Yeah, this is what Sean McDermott gave us, right? All right, that's that's about it. Right? So that's what he gave us, right? A lot of clapping. So once again, I agree with you. Brian Daboll's going to hold players accountable. He's also going to help on the sideline. He's going to, boost up morale. Like, we know what Brian Daboll can, the good things Brian Daboll brings to the table. Now, there is, of course, flaws, right? He has some flaws, obviously, in New York. He's going to have to correct. But for me, if he can get the right coaching staff together, I believe he could be successful as the Bills head coach. I really do. But you got to go out there and get a good defense coordinator. Most importantly, get a guy in an OC that you can work with, right? Because whatever OC he brings along is going to have to be a guy that Brian Daboll can connect with, right? He doesn't want to bring an OC that wants to do the opposite of, the way Brian Daboll likes his offense ran. You get what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure Brian Daboll understands that. He's not going to go out and get somebody that doesn't fit his style of play, right? So that's why, like, you hear the name Davis Webb going around. Obviously, Brian Daboll and Davis Webb also have a history together when Davis Webb was here as a quarterback. So I just feel like it fits all together, man. Also, like I said earlier in the podcast, this I feel is a very good transition when you're leaving a head coach that's been here so long, that has a history with the players, emotional, like emotional support, that when things were going bad, and I'm talking about outside of football, McDermott, I give him his dues. He was there, right? They grew to love that guy, right? But Brian Daboll was here too, and they also love Brian Daboll. He has a history here as well. So for me, you're getting rid of a guy that the players understood, respected, can lean on when things were not going good. And I'm not talking about just football. I'm talking about outside of football. Now you bring in a guy like Brian Daboll, you're bringing him back, and players are going to go, okay, you know what? I know this guy. I have love for this guy. I know that I could talk to this guy on a personal level. I'm good with this I'm good with this, right? I'm okay with this turnover. But you bring in a guy that doesn't really know the players. It's going to be a little bit harder of a transition for these guys. I mean, it is what it is. I don't care. You know what I mean? If it is an outside guy that's never been here before, but I'm just saying what makes the most sense. And that's one of the reasons why as well. I hope you win a Super Bowl, McDermott, as far as you, Brandon Bean. Oh, yeah, as far as you, Brandon Bean. I mean, my God. Dude, if that was my mom, I would have ran away from home when I was 14. I mean, my mom drove me bonkers, and I left my home when I was 17. Can you imagine that lady screaming your name for breakfast in the morning? And you better eat your bowl of cereal. Dude, it drive me nuts. Tommy, that woman sounded like she was cutting her promo. Yeah, she did. And listen up. Will you listen up here, me, Gene? Oh, my gosh. She's from Delaware. Oh, well. It sounds like she's from fucking some other planet. I mean, I don't know what the fuck she's up to. All right, we got a 3rd and 1 here. New England with the ball at their own 45. It looked like he picked up the first down. So he got about a yard. It looked like Stevenson got about just enough to pick up the first down. So it's 1st and 10. New England at their own 42. So here we go. New England at their own 42 here, down 7-0. Yeah, hit Mims. Yeah, that was a big play. I'm sorry, I'm way behind. Go Broncos is badass. A lot of you guys root for the Broncos. I get it. I don't really care. You know what I mean? For me, it doesn't matter to me. But I get it. Wow. Oh, so they did a screen pass that did not go well. They got a 2-yard loss on that. It's going to be 2nd and 12 coming up for the Patriots. Bro, the Broncos got weapons. Shit, we don't even have a receiver. Yeah, I get it. I am still sick over the last week's game. This should be us beating the Pats. I agree. It really, really sucks that we're not here. I get it. I'm with you guys, but you know what I mean? I'm also sick to my stomach that we missed a field goal in 1990, right? I'm wide right. I'm also sick to the fact that, Music City Miracle. I'm also sick to the fact that 13-second game. I mean, I've become so used to a good defense by the Broncos. I've become so used to heartache and pain that this team has given me over the years that I've kind of just gotten used to it. And that sucks, but it's the reality we're in, guys. It's Bills Mafia, right? But, look, we're heading into a new stadium with a new head coach. For me, that's an awesome thing. For me, that's a kind of almost like a brand new beginning in a way. But a brand new beginning with an MVP quarterback, right? Like, this isn't a setback. Like a lot of Bills Mafia. Oh, man. They had a free runner at May, and boy, he just missed. Broncos defense, boy, they are bringing it. 4th and 10 coming up. Patriots will punt, or 4th and 9. Patriots going to punt the ball back to Denver. So Denver's defense right now is bringing the heat. And May just got rid of the ball. It was a free runner. And good for the defender because he didn't lay into May. He kind of held up. He could have. And if he would have laid in there, maybe they get a roughing the passer. Maybe. You know how today's NFL is. But he actually eased up at the very last second. But anyways, Patriots are punting. Looks like a good punt to about the 22 of Denver. So Denver will have the ball at their own 22. Tommy, the Broncos win the national media, will be crying again. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Like, listen, at these, those are wrestling claps. Yeah. To me, it is what it is, guys. We're here. We're not, as fans, we're watching other teams play an AFC Championship game that, a game that we should probably be in. But it doesn't matter. We're not, right? The fact is we're not. We can look back at that game and point out a lot of reasons why we're not. And there's a lot of them. It just isn't one. That's why I keep defending Josh Allen, where fans just want to point the fingers directly at him. And it wasn't. He was part of the blame. Sean McDermott was part of the blame. The defense was part of the blame. The receivers were part of the blame. The referees are right, are part of them. There's a lot to go around there, right? And for me, it was a total team loss. You know what I mean? Now, on McDermott, there's also a lot of people whining and bitching about how, this was his best season. Why fire him now? Why didn't you just fire him? Why didn't you just fire him years ago, right? After the 13 seconds or after the following year or this year? Who gives a fuck? And you're right. Maybe they should have. And they should have. They definitely should have. For me, I'd have fired him after the 13 seconds. That's me. But they didn't. They gave him an opportunity. So don't bitch now about it. They gave him more than enough opportunities, right? Plenty of opportunities to bounce back from the 13-second game, and he still couldn't get the job done. And also, too, if you look at these losses, right, and I think Terry Pegula looked at it this way, too. A lot of these losses came down to, 3 points, a field goal here, a bad defensive play here, a missed field goal, 13 seconds, whatever you want. They all came down to something, and a lot of that had to do with Sean McDermott It's coaching. A lot of it. A lot of bad decisions. I mean, go back to this Broncos game. Guys, once again, like, say what you want about the turnovers. Say what you want about, Josh Allen, on some of the turnovers, the boneheaded mistakes he made. At the end of the day, he drove this team down to take a lead, a 4-point lead, right? A 4-point lead, meaning the Broncos had to score a touchdown to win that game, or at least take the lead at the time. I think it was like 3 minutes to go. And we have a defensive-minded head coach who lets the Broncos just go down the field with ease and score a touchdown and take the lead. And then Josh Allen responds back yet again and ties the game up and takes it overtime, right? And then you got overtime where then now, the refs are a little involved here. Kind of bullshit, but whatever. I'm not going to totally put the blame on them. And yet again, the Bills defense just melts away, right? Yet again. How about getting out coached multiple times in regular season games and playoff games? When things tighten up, McDermott tightens up. I mean, that's his MO. That's what he's all about. And it's unfortunate in this game. And the best head coaches don't tighten up in these kind of moments. They don't, right? They're calm and cool. Look at Andy Reid, right, on a sideline when his team's trailing or things aren't going right. But he is chill. He is calm, man. Because he knows there's plenty of time left. He also knows he believes in himself. He's going to turn it around. He's going to adjust, right? By him tightening up and doing things that are, out of characteristic of him and his coach. Yeah, and McDermott has done that, right? There's times McDermott has coached great, brilliantly. But when things tighten up is when he tends to go away from what was working in the game prior. You got Trey White going out. Sean Payton attacks Dane Jackson right away. Why didn't? Oh man, nice play fake there by little RPO. Stidham gets about 8 or 9. Second down, so it'll be 2nd and 2 coming up. But why does Sean Payton know right away to attack Dane Jackson? But yet, our brilliant defensive-minded head coach doesn't have it in his mind to send help Dane Jackson's way. Right? Sean Payton knew. Why didn't our coach know? Who's a defensive-minded head coach? Like, come on, man. So these are plenty of reasons I give you guys at why Sean McDermott should have been fired a long time ago and why ultimately he did get fired. I'm okay with it. So 2nd and 2, I'm not sure if he picked up enough. Let me see here. I think he gained at least a yard. No, he did. Okay, so 1st and 10, they gave him forward progress. Boy, I'll tell you right now, man, the Broncos can go down and score even a field goal here, going up 10-0 or 14-0. Whew. Yeah, that would be a wild start to this game. How about the possible coach staff? Dable as head coach, Webb as OC, Anthony Lynn as running back coach, Rivers as quarterback coach, Frank Reich assistant head coach, quality. And I know Frank Reich, I think, got an OC interview, though, with somebody recently. I saw it somewhere. But, yeah, no, I wouldn't mind it. I also wouldn't mind Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator. I mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot that I would love for to happen here. Give me Dable and Webb. You guys have to see the 2020 season. Dable in booth while Webb was on sideline coaching Allen as third-string quarterback. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I'm all that. Yeah, Jim Schwartz, 100%. I would bring back Schwartz, man. He also has a history here with the Buffalo Bills as well. So, which means that's a good thing, right? He knows the owner. He has history. So, and a good history. They didn't have any falling out or anything like that. So, I think it would be a perfect match for him as well to come back here to Buffalo. And he could build his defense the way he wants to build it, right? Like, because there's a lot of faces that are leaving, right? Buffalo, as far as the defense goes, right? So build this back up, build it through the draft, get some free agents in here. I just want to see a different defense too. Like I was so tired, and I was just sick and tired of the McDermott defense. That 4-3 soft zone bullshit every single season. He never adjusted. He never adjusted in the playoffs. We couldn't sack the quarterback. We were one of the worst in the league at sacks. The last 10 sack guy we had was Leonard Floyd, who was only here 1 year. Guys that have left here have actually played better in different defensive schemes. Puna Ford, Tim Settle, Jerry Hughes, even when he went to Houston, when we released him. I was tired of it. I thought good offensive coordinators knew how to beat it. So I'm right. I'm glad we're moving on from that. So hopefully the next defensive coordinator is a little bit more aggressive. Tommy, she's like, she wants to come to Bean Island. Fuck no. She can stay the fuck away from my island. You know what I mean? I know what she's trying to do. Fucking bring her megaphone and her bill and her poster, her posters or whatever she's going to bring, right? And her fucking purple hair. I'm good with that. Tommy, did that woman on the call not watch the Bills' losses in the playoffs? Maybe she only watched the game that the Bills won. I don't know. Why was she that heartbroken? She's not even from Buffalo. I have no idea. That's a great question. I mean, I'm not from Buffalo. I got some fam in Rochester. I visited Buffalo, obviously. I visited Rochester for my family, but, when I was a kid. That part I don't give a fuck about. You can call wherever the fuck you live. I don't care. But to call up, yelling and acting a fool, like it fucking hurt your day that bad, where you're wishing a coach goes and leaves and wins the Super Bowl with another team. Get the fuck out of here. What kind of bullshit talk is that? Go kick rocks with that fucking attitude. How stupid is that, right? Anyways, Broncos with the ball at their own 45, 2nd and 9, handed off, and they lost a yard. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up for Denver. I mean, they call it 3rd and 9. It looked like he lost a yard, in my opinion, but maybe they gave him forward progress. I don't know. Hello, Tommy. We'll be on American Idol tomorrow night at 8. Oh, okay. Why don't you, Mr. Fulton? What do you go by? Like, what's your name? So people out there can actually watch. You know what I mean? I have no idea who I'm looking for, bro. So let me know the name, man. Let me know the name, and I'll tune in. 8 o'clock, ABC. Yeah, I have nothing better to do. So, I have no podcast. I take that back. I'll definitely watch. But you gotta tell me who I'm looking for. There's a million contestants on the show. Tommy, the bright side, we have a chance to get a new coach. If Sean was still the coach, we are sitting here watching Pats and Broncos. Then it would feel a lot worse. Yeah, I get you. Absolutely. You know why I would feel that way? Because you would feel like it's never going to change. Like it's rinse and repeat with Sean McDermott. That's why you would feel that way. But now that they fired Sean McDermott, to be honest with you, yeah, it still sucks watching these two teams in the AFC Championship game. But in a way, we're kind of like, at least for me, I feel like there's hope now. I feel like we finally let that go. That, like, not that Sean McDermott's a bad coach, but we finally are getting a new voice in the room, a new vision, a new outlook, a new scheme, right? And I think that's exciting, I really do. And I don't know why some Bills fans are just so against the idea of moving on from Sean McDermott. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, we had to do it, folks. We just had to. I asked this on Friday. You didn't get to it. Oh, I'm sorry. But you think Keon Coleman will be a Bill? How you think it might affect his mental hearing that press conference? Okay. That's a great question, Eric. I don't look. I don't like how our owner kind of singled him out. I got to be honest with you. Because the question was not about Keon Coleman. The question was about our wide receiver room. And I didn't like that he cut off Brandon Beane either. I didn't mind the total. I didn't mind the whole press conference. I thought even Bagula, at times, I didn't mind. But there were some parts where I was like, come on, man. You shouldn't be cutting off your GM, president of football operations. They're asking him a question, not you. You need to let him respond. Instead, he cut him off. And then he brought up Keon Coleman, which wasn't even the question. So, yeah, that's not necessarily good. But ultimately, it's not going to be really his decision, right? It's going to be more Brandon Beane and the new head coach. This will be Keon Coleman's third season. So, really, honestly, it just depends on the coach that's coming in. If it's an offensive-minded head coach, let's say Brian Daboll. Let's say it is Brian Daboll. By the way, it was 3rd and 15. It's 4th and 15. Patriots are going to punt the ball at their own, I think, 15. But I believe Brian Daboll could do something with Keon Coleman. My biggest problem with Joe Brady was he didn't understand player strengths. I said this for the last 2 seasons. Last 2 seasons, I truly believe this. This is my biggest flaw. Is yes, they weren't the greatest. By the way, the Patriots punted. The Broncos got it back at about the 42. So they'll have the ball at their own 42. It is 54 seconds left in the first quarter. Denver up 7-0. So I said this 2 years ago, right? And I just felt like, yes, they weren't the best wide receiver group. However, the best offensive coordinators or offensive-minded head coaches understand what to do with offensive players that they have, right? Meaning they understand, okay, so-and-so, I'll give you an example. Let's say Elijah Moore. Okay, Elijah Moore, what does he have? Well, he has really good speed, right? You can't teach speed. He has it. Electric, right? 4.3 guy, right? What can we do with this guy? Right? Okay, let's dial up this. Let's do this. Let's get him some jet sweeps. Let's get him some little pop passes. Let's get him, some crossers, right? Go over the top here and there, right? Let's mix it up. Let's use his speed for, as an advantage, right? Joe Brady never did that. Joe Brady didn't understand these guys. He just lined them up and said, beat your man. And that was his downfall as OC, in my opinion. And I felt like Keon Coleman was just not used correctly. That's one. Two, it also falls a little bit on Coleman, right? Coleman was a little bit immature, the way he handled things. Obviously, him and McDermott were not on the same page. And I think he grew frustrated with how the offense was going as far as his role in the offense. I get it, but you got to still be responsible and show up to meetings because you're a professional. You're a professional athlete. This is your job. So I think with Coleman, ultimately to answer your question, it just depends on who we're bringing here, and they're going to decide really with Beane if they feel they can make it work with Coleman. Meaning, hey, I looked at this guy's film. I really believe he can do this really well if I do this with him, right? If I put him in a slot here and there, or if I, put him more on slants. He was really good at slant. So it just depends. Now, the new coach could come in too and go, hey, I looked at the film. I don't really have a place for him here. I just don't see it. I also don't like his attitude. So it just depends on the coach. I believe if it's Daboll, you'll see Coleman back. If it's somebody else, like a new head coach that doesn't, especially not an offensive-minded head coach, they may trade him. We'll see. I believe in Daboll that much that he could turn Keon Coleman around. Okay? So, sorry I missed the question, by the way. I don't know what day it was that you asked me, but I apologize for that. I try to get to everything, but when I'm on here by myself, it's tough because I got a lot of questions coming in. and then I got to answer each one, and before you know it, like, I'm behind 15 chats, man. So everybody, I apologize if I ever missed your chat. You know me. You know, this channel here, you know, we're proud to say, like, we kind of got this thing started with, you know, having the chat really involved with our streams. Like, now there's, of course, others that are doing it now, but we are one of the first that really focused on including the chat, making them, you know, part of this live stream. So, now, you know, of course, other podcasters are now understanding when you go live, you got to include your chat. Now, some don't give a fuck. Some don't. Some still don't give two shits unless you give them money, right? But hey, I'm not one of them. You know, you guys can super chat me. I appreciate that, of course. It does help the channel, but I'm going to try to get to every one of your questions, regardless of a super chat or not. But you know, I think some channels just don't. They don't understand that, you know. Some do. Some do. All right, Robert. Josh needs to faster so he can throw the ball and run down the field and catch it. Right, Robert. Exactly. Be happy, Tommy. At least you didn't go out like my Jets, making history for not having a pick the whole season. Also, the letters in my team's name stand for just end the season. Oh, it's brutal. And yeah, man, as a Jets fan, I feel for you. I do, man. I mean, like, you know, I get it because we were there for 17 years. I'm also a Pistons fan. We also lived through, you know, a lot of, you know, I witnessed a lot of shitty years as a Pistons fan, as a Tigers fan. I'm also a Tigers fan. Like it's been rough for a while. But you know, I guess the thing is, for you guys is, do you believe you found the right head coach, right? Like, that's your, you know, I always tell people, you know, how the NFL works, for me at least. It's like a chain. If you think about it like a chain, you got the owner, you got the, you know, the GM, you know, and then you got the coaching staff, and you got the players, right? If any part of that chain, if a link is broken, there's a disconnect. It's just not going to work. The wheels aren't going to move, right? So I guess the question is there a disconnect there between ownership, GM, and head coach? If not, you got to give your new head coach some time here, right? Especially on a full rebuild, which the Jets are on a full rebuild, right? So it's not a partial rebuild. It's not like, you know, your head coach came in with a quarterback already like Vrabel did, right? Vrabel came in with a really good quarterback already, right? Like he inherited, you know, one of the better quarterbacks, young quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, that was perfect timing for him to become head coach, right? With his second-year quarterback who already was making a name for himself in year one, right? For the Jets, I mean, who do they have? Justin Fields. I mean, that was, by the way, a terrible signing. GM should have known better on that. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the game. So Broncos had the ball at the 48 of New England. Stidham back to throw. Stidham goes to the running back, who picks up about a yard and a half, maybe two. So what I noticed here early on is the Patriots are bringing a lot of pressure, which I knew they would. And it's actually smart, right? You want to put pressure on a quarterback that hasn't played all year, or at least I don't think he has, and you want to get him uncomfortable. You want to get him out of the pocket, making poor decisions. So it's actually it's exactly what I would do. Stidham in shotgun, 2nd and 8. Stidham back to throw. Hits this man at about the 41. So it's going to be 3rd and 4. 3rd and 5 coming up. Let me see here. I'm sorry. Sheesh, 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 coming up. McJoke wanted the field goal. Yep. I blame them playing Max and getting him hurt, and then we have to play Dane Jackson. Yeah, I get it. And that, too, we're playing guys. We're always undersized players, too. Players playing out of position. Our strength and conditioning coaches got to go too, by the way. Like, terrible. Like, there were so many injuries this year in practice. Like, that's just craziness to me. What is going on there? All right, Stidham back to throw. 3rd and 3 is in shotgun. Back to throw. Finds his man for about, 5. It's 1st and 10. Denver now driving. They are at, let me see where they're at. They're in New England territory. They're at like the 40 now of New England. Let me see here where they're at. They are at the 38, it looks like. Tommy, people forget on one of the last Bronco drives is that in that game they had 2 3rd and longs. Yep, exactly. But Sean played that soft ass zone, and remember he called the fake punt with Hamlin. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so much to it. Like that was another thing. We could never get teams off the field on 3rd and longs. Denver with a nice run, by the way, picked up about 9. So it's gonna be 2nd and 1 coming up at the New England 25, 26. But yeah, I agree. Like, once again, and then there's dumb timeouts that he calls timeouts and still can't get the team off the field on 3rd and long, right? Even after he sees what the offense is lining up to do and has time to adjust. The defense was it was a problem. It was a problem. Like Dunn said, was going good, 3-3-4 with blitz, and dude went back to the nickel. Yep. Denver picked up the 1st down, by the way. It's 1st and 10. Denver about looks like the 25 coming up. Scott Blakely in the house. Hey, what's up, Scott? I brung your name up earlier. I was saying that you're one of the fans that are joining me, Mikey, Dan Mitchell on We Believe in Bean Island. There's actually a few others here that are actually joining us as well. And I keep telling Bills Mafia, don't wait around too long because we ain't gonna want you on We Believe in Bean Island. Like all that shit you guys talking, people who's not believing, they want to think this is more Bean than McDermott. Look, I can't predict the future, but I'm gonna tell you now, at least in my opinion, I think Bean's gonna turn this ship around. I really do. Now it's his show. He didn't have that when McDermott was here. McDermott had full control. McDermott was the puppet master. I kept telling people that. Now it is going to be Bean's show. He is the GM. He is the president of football operations. He's going to be able to hire the coach he sees fit, not the other way around. Okay? And they're going to be on the same page, right? Everybody knows this was McDermott's show. Everybody. From day one, right? McDermott hired Bean pretty much. McDermott told Bean what was going to happen, right? How he was going to run this team for the most part. Now you just go and find players that I feel that fit my scheme, and that's it. I'm not saying Bean isn't responsible too. Bean obviously was part of that process, but I don't believe he had a lot of say. I believe he has partial say, and I believe McDermott had a lot more than anybody. I mean, honestly, when the fact that Terry Bagula did cut off Brandon Bean and said the coaching staff pushed for Keon Coleman kind of tells you everything you need to know right there. That it's not like Bean fought it. Like he probably knew he was not going to win that battle when it came to Sean McDermott and what he wanted here in Buffalo. So 4th down coming up for the Broncos. Stidham with a rollout. He tried to pick up the 1st down with his legs, and he was just short about a yard. Very curious what the Broncos do here. If they go for the field goal and go up 10-0, or are they aggressive here on 4th and 1, 4th and 2? Let's see here. So it is 4th and 1, and they're going for it. So, all right, so they're calling it looks like a timeout here. So 4th and 1 coming up. They do have their offense on the field still. Bills fan 1970, how you doing, brother? How are you doing, Tommy? I'm not watching a single down of football until August, bro. Hey, bro, I don't blame you. I'm a football guy. I love football. But I get it. I understand it. I just, I'm an NFL guy in general. You know what I mean? I love sports. I grew up watching sports, playing sports, watching sports. Like, I know it's tough. I get that. I'm not, overly invested, obviously, in these games, right? I'm not, paying super attention. As you guys can see, I've been talking to you more than I'm really paying attention to the game here. But I still enjoy sports, and I still enjoy football. So I'll continue to watch. You know what I mean? Like, but I get it. I get your point. All right, here we go. 4th and 1 for Denver. Stidham under center. A fake toss. It did not work. As a matter of fact, it was intercepted. No, it hit the ground. It didn't matter if it was intercepted or not, folks. Incomplete. It was a bad play call. I got to be honest with you. I did not like the play call right there. It was a play action, like bootleg, and he almost threw an interception, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Because, matter of fact, it's kind of lucky that because they would have got a little bit like yards, right? So I don't know there. I mean, I don't mind the decision of being aggressive, but I would have liked to see a better play call there from Sean Payton. You know, Patriots dodged a bullet. Mr. Chewy, well, how you doing, brother? No more Karens. God, no, please, no. Like, I mean, Jesus, you know. I see enough of them on protesting on these streams. It's wild to me. I couldn't do it. Like, I remember when I was young, I wanted to be a cop. Like, when I was young, you know what I mean? Like, I thought, forget about it. Like, forget about it. Like, I would never want to be a cop now. Like, there's no way. The amount of disrespect these people, like, I couldn't do it. Matter of fact, I couldn't do any kind of law enforcement, whether it be a cop, FBI, whatever. Like, I just can't. I couldn't. I just wouldn't want to deal with it. Matter of fact, I've been in security forever. I bounced at bars, strip clubs for a long time, like almost 20 years. Like, I got a ton of experience in that industry. And I noticed, man, like these last, I would say since COVID, when we returned back, right? People are out of fucking control, man. I mean, look, it was, you know, I'm not saying they weren't crazy, you know, years ago either, but it's taken a different level of craziness. And trust me, and that's just me. I'm me at a bar, or me, you know, doing my job. Like, I watch these people. I know people. Like, that's my job. Like, you kind of got to study people in a way. Like, you know who's coming in, who's trouble. You know what to look for. You know what to keep your eye on. And people just don't care anymore. Like they don't give a fuck. The women now, too, guys. The women are fucking like out of control, ridiculous. I mean, throwing glasses, you know, getting in guys' faces, spitting in guys' faces, punching men, punching girls, like. And that was, you know, look, there was girl fights, you know, obviously I've been doing this a long time, but it's way out of control now. Like, people are Drake May sacked at the 12, by the way. They are really putting a lot of pressure on Drake May, by the way, the Denver Broncos defense. But yeah, point being, guys, and I'm not going to turn this into anything, you know, because I did that before and we got way sidetracked. But it's wild times that we're living in, man. And I would not want to be, and honestly, I don't even do security anymore, guys. I do on-site security, where I sit in my car and I watch a construction site. Make sure nobody jumps the fence. I mean, it's easy. It's an easy gig. I don't have to deal with fucking assholes. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier of a gig. And by the way, too, it's not as dangerous, obviously. Like, you got motherfuckers now, they just don't care. They're bringing in guns or bringing in knives or stabbing people. Like, people just don't care anymore. So, like, yeah, dude, I'm out of that. I'm out of that life, man. I just don't. Now, I did help my old boss, like a couple months ago, for about a month, because he was, you know, his security guy was, I don't know, he had something come up, but I still was like, ugh. You know, I did it as a favor for him, but I still wasn't thrilled to do it. First down, New England, Mac Hollins. Welcome back, Mac Hollins to the Patriots. Came up with a big catch right there for the New England Patriots. By the way, the New England Patriots too, right? It kind of shows you as well when you get a good offensive coordinator, right? A guy that understands player strengths, Mac Hollins, understands that his quarterback needs help, Stephon Diggs. They surround, they work around their franchise quarterback, right? That's what you do. Like, that's what teams are supposed to do. You build around your franchise quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback yet, fine. You start you until you find one. Fine. You could work on your defense, work on this, work on that. You don't have that franchise guy yet, but once you get one, right, you got to respect that guy, right? He's everything, right? Drake May right now is everything to the Patriots. He's what's going to make or break them getting to a Super Bowl or winning a Super Bowl in the future, right? If you don't surround him, right? If you don't build around him a good team, people that will help, you're never going to go far, right? And I feel like Sean McDermott forgot about that, right? He totally forgot about Josh, right? He just left him sitting over there on the side, on the bench, right? Just chilling in his own thoughts, right? And he concentrated on his defense again and whatever the fuck else he was doing, right? His clapping skills, his fucking Gloria, Vanderbilt glasses. I don't know. Whatever the fuck he was doing. But he wasn't concentrating on the guy that he should have been concentrating on, and that was Josh Allen. Go Broncos! A lot of people cheering for the Broncos today. Yep. I get it. All right, 3rd and 3, and May is sacked. They're going to punt again. He barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, so yeah, wild. I don't even know if he did. That might have been a sack. 4th and 3, so he didn't. He did, I guess, in a way. I wonder if that still counts as a sack because he got back in the line. Either way, 4th and 3 coming up for the Patriots on their own 35. 37. They'll be punting back to the Broncos. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And my dog is just barking away. 6 minutes to go. Patriots punting. Fair catch being called. Broncos will have the ball at their own 17 coming up. 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first half. This game is not going well for the Patriots offense. Defensively, honestly, I saw this happening. I saw a low-scoring game. I really did think Patriots would be up or going up. We'll see. It's not halftime yet, but I thought it would be something like 10-7 halftime Patriots, or maybe 13-10, but that either way, I did see the Patriots up at least 3, right? And right now, they are down 7, and their offense is not, they haven't figured it out. And the Broncos defense is getting after May. So, yeah, they better adjust, the Patriots, if they want to get to a Super Bowl. Because right now, if you can't get your offense going, it's not going to happen. And they're lucky they're going against a Broncos team right now without their starting quarterback, because things could be maybe a little different right now. Just saying, right? It could be 14-0. Coleman dodged it on a lot of plays. It would be great if he stepped up. We really need a cheap receiver. They're going to, listen, by the way, too, the money, you guys are worried about cap. We're going to have cap. There's many ways for the Buffalo Bills to clear up cap space, and they will. I believe I saw a few scenarios. One was $54 million that they can clear up. One was around 60-something. So Brandon Beane is very good at that, being able to work with the cap, and creating space, right? So I believe they're going to have around 54. Let's say 54 minimum to work with, which is it's fine. That's enough to work with your free agents, with your rookie deals, and a potential trade. I could see happening too for a number one receiver. So I think, or I know, Brandon Beane finally got it. He understands that this offense over the last 2 years was not fit for Josh Allen. You cannot continue on without a true number one, a go-to guy when things were breaking down. You need that guy. We did not have that guy. I love Shakir. He's a great slot guy. Matter of fact, I think Shakir can even be better with the right offensive coordinator. How about that? I don't even think we've seen the best of Khalil Shakir. So yeah, I'm just excited for this change in general, man. But I do believe Brandon Beane understands this. Once we figure out the next head coach, is when the moves are going to start being made, right? So get excited, guys. I'm telling you. And if I'm Josh Allen, I'm fucking thrilled. He may be a little upset right now. He may not like the coaching change right now, but he gets himself an offensive-minded head coach. Let's say it is Dable, and Dable gives him that phone call. You know what I mean? Yo, Josh, right? Listen, man. I know. I'm sorry about McDermott. I get it. You guys had years together, but I felt like that they weren't building around you. They didn't do a good enough job with making your life easier as an NFL quarterback. And I'm here to tell you that I'm going to make that. I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to go out. I'm going to make sure we get talented weapons for you. I'm going to make sure that my OC and pass game coordinator that we make this work for you. That we make life a lot easier for you, and make this offense fun again. And make, most importantly, for you to have fun, right? And trust me, man. This offense is going to get going. You're going to be happy. This team's going to be happy. We're going to get this thing rolling. That's it. And Josh is going to definitely get behind that, in my opinion, and he's going to be all for that, man. And he's going to be ready to go. So let's do it, man. Stidham back to throw. Boy, he just got it off. First down. It was 3rd and 5, and that extra stretch by Mims got him the first down. Boy, it was close, but Stidham barely got the ball off. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, that's a first down by, half a length of the ball there. Oh, yeah, he got it. He got it by about a half a yard. So, first down, Broncos. Why are some talking Belichick? He marries a psycho trophy wife. He has passed his prime for years. He has been bad. Stop. Yeah, so at first I was thinking about it, Scott, but I'm with you. I think I got nothing but respect for what he did in the NFL. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, NFL head coaches to coach this game. But he's a lot older now, and I think his time has passed. I think his scheme's a little bit older now. The game has passed him by, in my opinion, and I think it's time for him just to chill out, man. Go and chill. He's going to be a Hall of Fame in the NFL Hall of Fame. Enjoy your Super Bowls, right? Enjoy your young wife, But yeah, I'm with you. At first, like I said, I was maybe it could work. No, it's just, and he's stubborn. He's an old, he has this, old way of thinking. I'm good. Let's go. And I'm not saying go out and get a super young coach. That's also what I don't really want. But for me, get a Brian Daboll, like I said, or a 40-year-old coach, 50 even. I don't, whatever. If you're gonna go with a different approach, but. How old is Brian Daboll, by the way? I think he's probably in his, 50s? Let me see here. I could be wrong on that. Let me see here. Brian Daboll. He's 50 years old. How about that? I hit that right on the nail on the head, right on that. 50 years old. So, to me, that's great, man. You know what I mean? And he wasn't perfect in New York, but, oh, no. This could be a fumble by Stidham. And they're calling it a fumble. They're calling it a... Let's see what they call here. So right now, there's a flag on the play. Stidham looked like he fumbled, potentially, unless his arm was coming forward. This is going to be a big call here. Let's see what happens here, folks. Let me, and I'm sorry behind the chat. Once again, I'm trying to do everything all at once here. Trying to watch a game, answer questions. And gets all your Tommy. Did you see Colin Cowherd's show about Pagula firing McDermott? Yeah, I did. I actually played that. So it's against Denver. All right, so it's intentional grounding. So it was a pass, but they're going to call it intentional grounding. Vrabel has the challenge flag out. He hasn't thrown it yet. Now, he could challenge that this is a fumble. Oh, boy. I got to see it. That was a bad angle. All right. It looks like it. I don't know. It's so fast. I got to slow it down. It seems like his hand pushed the ball. It's 4th and 24 coming up. Vrabel has the challenge flag in his hand. I don't know if I can't hear because obviously I'm on with you guys, but maybe they're not going to. Maybe it's not challengeable. I don't know, but Vrabel's pissed. Challenge flag back in his pocket. So apparently they looked at it already, and this is probably a booth review. Okay, it is. He did throw it. He like. Boy, but it's a backward pass, no? I mean, that would be a touchdown, no? A backwards pass. Ooh, golly. I mean, if it's a backwards pass, it's a touchdown New England, no? I have no idea what's happening here, folks, but this may be a touchdown for New England. Tommy, as a Pistons fan, what was your reaction when the Pistons that one year had like 27 straight losses? It was a nightmare. But what was my reaction in 2004 when we won a world championship? It was fucking phenomenal. So, you know what I mean? So New England does have the ball. They did not give him a touchdown, but New England has the ball at Denver 15. May back to throw. May completed. 2nd and 5 coming up for New England. So, man, or 2nd and 4 coming up. So, man, what a big turnaround there. 2 minutes 37 seconds to go in the game or in the first half. New England knocking on the door right here. So we'll see what happens. Josh should stop getting DPIs while sitting on the bench. Hey Tommy, we need to hold Allen. No one said. Who said that we didn't? Like, come on, man. You're here a lot. You know that. By the way, touchdown Drake May. He did like a little shotgun draw. Not even draw. Shotgun kind of quarterback sneak there. So it's going to be 7-7 coming up as long as they make their extra point. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half. So it looks like New England's about to tie it up. This is the problem I saw with Denver. Their offense was going to struggle here, right? And Denver's defense is eventually going to crack. And to be honest with you, this isn't even Denver's defense fault. I mean, the offense put them in a terrible position. The Broncos defense has been actually playing really good, but they didn't give them help there. They turned the ball over, at the 15, 10, whatever that was. So, but look, man, I'm not going to keep going over this. You know that I do. And you know that people do. Like, this isn't like, it's funny, like you say that, like people aren't holding him accountable as far as, his turnovers or overthrows or underthrows, whatever he may be. But there's this loss here is not all about Josh Allen. I keep telling you this. Like, also too, like, we wouldn't even be in this position. We wouldn't even be a playoff team if it wasn't for Josh Allen. So, like, there's going to be some bad. I just feel like sometimes we want, or some fans feel like this guy just simply can't make a mistake. He's not allowed to be a human being and make a mistake. And it's unfair. That's one. Two, Josh Allen himself holds himself accountable more than anybody on this football team, including our coaches. Name a time that Josh Allen didn't get to the podium, right, after a loss, even when Josh Allen played great. He still says, I could have done better, right? I should have done this. If I would have done this, maybe we'd have won that game. I have yet to hear Josh Allen throw anybody under the bus, right? Or not take account or not be accountable for mistakes that he made. So I don't get this talk. That's why I get a little bit frustrated with that. You know what I mean? I don't agree with you, because if Josh Allen himself was avoiding it or blaming others, then fine, we could talk about it. Or if other podcasters were not saying, or were defending Josh Allen all the time and never saying anything, bad that he did on the field, fine. But I'll tell you, I know a lot of Bills podcasters, many of them talk about the good and the bad and the ugly from Josh Allen at time, right? There's very few channels that are just strictly rah-rah channels. Josh Allen's the best. The Buffalo Bills are the best. They can do nothing wrong. Everything's great. Everything, is roses over here. There's very few of those channels out there. There is some, but the ones I watch, they're going to give you everything. They're going to be honest with you. But just because we're not just honing down on Josh Allen and be like, bro, he is bad. He's bad. It's his blame. He's accountable. Terrible. Josh, you should be ashamed of yourself. Josh, you suck. Josh, what do you want? You know what I mean? What? Just keep beating the drum. Right? What is that gonna do? Okay, Josh sucks. Boo, Josh Allen. Boo. You fucking boo, fucking Josh Allen. You fucking scumbag. What do you want? We know this. We all watched the game. We know what Josh Allen did wrong. But why don't we talk about, I don't see you bringing up the drop passes from down the stretch, right? I don't see you bringing that. I don't see you bringing up the James Cook fumble when we could have went up at that point 10 to 3, 14 to 3 possibly. I don't see you yelling at Sean McDermott for being aggressive with 16 seconds to go in halftime with no timeouts on our own 30. McCole Hardman dropped. Brandon Cooks drops. They're all accountable. What are we doing here? You act like we're just avoiding the Allen thing. We're just, everybody else is to blame. Allen's No one said that. Nobody, including Josh Allen himself, who went up to the presser like he always does. It takes full accountability no matter what. And you guys want to act like just Josh Allen is this guy that is just so cocky, gets up to the podium. Oh, everything. Listen, I was great. Everybody else, talk to them. They're dog shit. Right? McDermott should have never did this. If Hardman catches that, fucking guy, what the hell? I put it right. He's not doing that. What do you want? I don't get it. So I'm not going to continue on with that because you said it to me a few times, and I love you. You support the channel. I get it, and it's your opinion. By the way, I want to say this to you. It's your opinion. I have mine. You have yours. People in the chat have theirs. But we're going to have to agree to disagree at this because it seems like you bring it up a lot, and it seems like no matter what I tell you how I believe this to be true, you're not really registering it, or you don't care to, or it doesn't matter. You have your feelings and you're sticking with them, and that's fair, and I'll respect that. But we're going to have to agree to disagree on this because I'm a very honest person in life in general. I call it how I see it, no matter what. And you guys know this. Everybody in the chat knows this. I'm not afraid to bite. I don't bite my tongue. Not afraid to express my feelings. And I'm also not afraid to point the finger and tell you, hey, this person could have done better. This person's wrong. This person's right. You know what I mean? I'm brutally honest. And I've done nothing but that on this channel. Right? I've told you Josh could be better. Josh could do this better. This player could do. But I try to look back. I try my best to step back and look at the whole picture, right? A lot of people want to just pinpoint or focus in on one particular player or one particular person and go, he's the problem. He's the problem. It's him. It's all him. Him. And I don't do that. I don't. I try my best not to. I know I'm a little bit more harsher on Sean McDermott, but that's because he's made mistakes that cost us playoff games, and he continued to make those mistakes. If you look at Josh Allen's playoff games, performances, he's been one of the best, if not the best, NFL quarterback to play in the playoffs. Statistically, he's given us every opportunity. He had a bad game. Okay, but guess what? He still put us an opportunity to win the game. So once again, I can't just point and go, he's the reason. Josh Allen, he screwed us. Get the fuck out of town. Like, it's just a bad way of going about it. And I disagree. And it gets me fired up when this gets brought up. It's BS. It's total bullshit. He has not let us down in these games. You know, even when he's played poorly, he still found himself way to get back in the game and get us the lead, right? I don't know what you expect. And I don't know what you expect from me or Josh Allen himself. Like, the dude is holding himself accountable every single time we get exited from the playoffs. How about other people take accountability? Is that okay? How about our fucking old head coach taking accountability, which he never did? How about that? How about receivers step up and go, yo, I shouldn't have dropped the ball. If I catch the ball there, we're going for a winning field goal and we're in the AFC Championship game. How about that? Like, but no. We got to ignore that. Let's ignore that. Let's just talk about Josh Allen's fumble. Let's talk about Josh Allen's interception. But let's ignore everything else in the course of the game that led to that loss. Why? What? No, you shouldn't. I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, my God, man. Tommy, if Dan is even on Bean Island, then why can't other Bills fans come join Bean Island? Bean ain't perfect, but the drafts being all defensive heavy should tell people that Sean is in control. And he was. Bean is on, Dan's on Bean Island because I threw it out there on X that I'm already on We Believe in Bean Island. Matter of fact, I'm the one that created the We Believe in Bean Island. Dan Mitchell just said, hey, I'll join you on We Believe in Bean Island. Mikey also has joined. And I'm not saying anybody, listen, right now it's wide open. Anyone could join We Believe in Bean Island. It's wide open, y'all. I mean, come on over to the Bean Island. I'm not saying nobody can't join us, but I'm just telling y'all, for those that are doubting, for those that are saying he should have been fired, or, you know, he threw McDermott on the bus, which is not true, or, you know, that you want McDermott to win a Super Bowl and Bean to be fired, like, yeah, you're probably not welcome over here. Like, don't come back and be like, oh, yeah, I believed in Bean. Like, it's for me, then I'm going to call you out on it. Right? You know what I mean? Now, you could question it. You could say, well, you know, we'll see, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But if you're just totally being like, fuck that guy's trash, like, then, nah, bro, we're good. Security at the world-famous Boot Hill Saloon for the past 10 years. Okay, I don't know where that is, but all right, more power. Good shit, man. I don't know where that's at, I'll be honest with you. Terrible cops give good cops bad rap. Police in my area good. People never had issues. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's bad people, there's good people, there's bad people in this world. I'm not saying all cops are good or anything like that, but the amount of disrespect now that people just feel like is okay to give. And bro, they're human beings, man. Like, they're doing their job. You know, do they deserve to be spit on or yelled at every time they're doing their job? Like, I know it sucks. I know sometimes it's you don't feel it's necessary to get pulled over for speeding, but it's the law. I mean, I know it sucks, but You know what I mean? But it doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, be respectful. You know what I mean? I believe in karma as well. You know what I mean? Like, be good, man. Be a decent human being is all I'm saying. Right? So the Patriots have the ball with 1 minute, 27 seconds to go. 2nd and 5, and they're at their own 13, I believe. It looks like Vrabel's upset. He wants them to hurry up on offense. And they're taking their sweet-ass time, so they're really not. Mays in shotgun at the 15. 1 minute, 8 seconds to go. May back to throw. It is dropped, so it's going to be 3rd and 5 coming up. I'll tell you what. If they don't pick up his first down, Denver's going to have some time on the clock. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that was tipped at the line. Still should have been caught, though, by the tight end. All right, 3rd and 5 here. Big 3rd down here coming up for the Broncos defense. And once again, I'm sorry if I'm behind on the chat. I normally have somebody that helps me out with this, but I'm solo. Just to show the world that New England is not a championship team. 35 coming up at shotgun. And they are going to be short by about 3 yards. Broncos should call a timeout here, and they do. So we got 4th and 3 coming up at their own 17. The Patriots are going to punt to Denver. Denver has no timeouts remaining, though. So it's going to have 57 seconds on the clock to get some kind of points here before half. So let's see what Stidham and the Broncos offense can do. Sylvester, Tommy is so sad that Sean ignored Josh to put all his focus and all his draft picks on defense, and the defense still allowed 33. Exactly. That's kind of my point. Bosa mid, get him out late. Bosa's gone anyways. Josh Allen's turnover machine. He was only here 1 year, so he's a free agent, and the chances of him returning are slim to none. So you don't need to worry about Bosa. Dable means business. That's the kind of coach we need in Buffalo. Absolutely. And Dable's also going to hold Josh Allen accountable when he makes boneheaded decisions, which sometimes Josh does. You know, and it is what it is. I mean, that kind of comes with the whole gunslinger mentality that he has, like Brett Favre, right? Like, you know, and I think a lot of Bills Mafia still don't get that. Like, we want to sit back and watch Josh Allen do these unbelievable plays and, you know, just be in awe, like, oh my God, like, this is unbelievable. You know, this is what makes Josh so special. But then when he does a play like that and it backfires, we're like, oh, you know, people, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. It's stupid. But yet you just cheered from, you know, not too long ago doing the same kind of play that worked out. Like, you're not going to be able to get the best of both worlds, right? He's going to make a mistake in there, just like Brett Favre did, right? So you got to have to live with that as Bills fans. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Josh Allen should be reckless all the time, but if you want Josh to continue to be what we know him to be, which is make unbelievable plays when needed, once in a while it's gonna have a bad, you know, there's gonna be something bad that happens in the course of that, right? Like, so, you know, you can't have both, right? You're gonna have some good, some bad. All right, Stidham back to throw. Stidham under pressure. Stidham throws out of bounds. So 2nd and 10 coming up. 35 seconds to go. First, for all the Dable fans, listen to Matt Perino's interview with Morse, our ex-center. He said Dable could be up or down, and the down was bad. He was inconsistent, and Morse said he was an asshole. Randy, so that's one player, though, right? Like, I get it, and I'll respect what Mitch Morse had to say. But I don't know if that holds true for everybody, right? You got to remember, not every player is going to get along with their coach or coaching or coaching staff, right? Like, there's going to be some kind of disconnect or disagreements. So I don't, you know, I haven't heard that from any other player, right? So that's the first I heard that a player, you know, didn't get along with Brian Dable. Brian Dable has been known to be, you know, a player's coach, but also he holds players accountable, and maybe he could be an asshole at times, and maybe Mitch Morse took it wrong at times. But, you know, that's his coach style. But I never heard another player like talk down about Brian Daboll and the person he is. So, but if you felt that way, look, man, you know, I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Maybe he is an asshole, and maybe the other players didn't say anything else. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I could just go on what I saw and what I heard and what I know about Josh Allen and Brian Daboll's relationship was very good. So I'm going to take it like that, man. So I do know, though, that Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott did not get along. You know what I mean? Let's see here. So field goal coming up. Let's wait for this field goal real quick, and I'll answer more of the chat. 54-yard field goal coming up for Will Lutz. Field goal is up and then no good, wide right. It started off good a little bit there, but it maybe got the wind pushed it to the right. So 20 seconds to go. 7-7. Let's see what the Patriots do here, if they're aggressive or not. But yeah, it started actually pretty good there, and maybe the wind just kind of took it, man. So it sailed on them, and it looks like this is possibly going into the half 7-7. But let's see what the Patriots do here on offense. Let's see if Vrabel is aggressive here and tries to put up 3 himself. So 20 seconds to go. The Patriots do have 1 timeout. I would think they would be aggressive. They are at their own 45. And they have a timeout. So let's see here. May back to throw. May going deep. Oh, man. It looked like it should have been caught. Who was that? Booty? But it was drop. It was a tough catch to be made, though. It was low. No. I take that back. That was a very tough catch to make, and it was way too low. So May kind of grounded that ball there a little bit. You got 15 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 at the Patriots 45. May in shotgun, and they have the timeout. So they offsides on the Patriots. So that'll bring them back an extra 5 yards. So that hurts. So we got a second and 15 coming up here for the Patriots. So that brings them back some. Vrabel not happy about that, but that's the way it works. It was definitely offsides by the left tackle there. So 2nd and 15 seconds to go. Let's see what the Patriots do here. They still have an opportunity to get in field goal range here. So they are at their 39-yard line. May back to throw. May going deep. May is going deep, folks. And that is incomplete. We got 9 seconds to go. 3rd and 15. So they took a shot. They were taking a shot there, which is fine. I don't even hate that throw. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't hate that decision there. He put it where really, honestly, only Booty would have gotten it. So it would have been an unbelievable catch. But it wasn't where a defender could intercept the ball. It was ahead of Booty, so only really Booty would have had an opportunity for that. So, all right, 3rd and 15 here. May back a shotgun. May back to throw. May is scrambling. May's taking off. Plenty of room. May's going to need to get out of bounds. He does not. He slides at the, I don't know. Now, will there be time left? Will they give him 1 second? So this depends on what the refs call here. Was he sliding when there was time left? There was. So so New England called a timeout. There's going to be 1 second. They're giving them 1 second. So I got to look at that again, because I don't know about that, folks. Let's see here. 3, 2. Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. When he gave himself up right there was 1 second left. And Vrabel was right on top of it. So good job by Vrabel. Good job by May to understand to get down. It's going to be a long field goal attempt, though. So here we go. I'm see how long this is. This is going to be well over 50. 53. All right, I thought it'd be longer than that. I don't know why I was thinking longer. So, no, I'm sorry, it is longer. 63. So it's a 63-yard attempt. But, Denver, there's been a lot of, way off. So it was wide, wide left. Way off, 63-yard attempt. No good. We're going halftime. 7-7 is the score. So, interesting first half, no doubt. I thought Denver's defense did a really good job on against May and the offense of the Patriots. I thought the Broncos' offense was kind of what I thought it would be. Shaky. I knew New England would bring pressure, be aggressive, and Stidham's having a tough time with that. But they did get the early touchdown. 7-7 right now is your score. So it's anybody's ball game right now. Question is, will the Patriots adjust here in the second half offensively? Put some points up because Denver right now is struggling in offense. So if New England can get going here in the second half offensively, I just don't think Denver can respond with the offense. But we'll see. I mean, Sean Payton's an excellent coach. Well, he's going to have to also adjust here with the way Stidham's playing in this offense too. Sylvester Thomas, we always hold Josh accountable. He shouldn't have turned the ball over 4 times, but in the clutch, he gave us a chance to win. Same with Lamar when he threw it to Andrew. Exactly, 100%. Like at the end of the day, there was still an opportunity to win the game. Like their quarterback still put them in a position to ultimately win the game, right? Like, so, what are we talking about? Move on to one of the Rams Seahawks assistants, or the prior quarterback who was here. Dable had terrible play calls at times. We always complain about him in the red zone. Beanhead has much to prove. So, see, I kind of disagree. Allen's best offensive years were with Brian Dable. That's one. 2, we didn't have the offensive line that we do now. Back then when Brian Dable was our offensive coordinator. Randy, you can, I don't know if you can agree, disagree, but the facts are the facts. Like, our offensive line was nothing like our offensive line it is today, right? I mean, that, right? So that's 1. 2, we didn't have a running back like James Cook. And I love Devin Singletary. You guys know that. Singletary's my dude, man. But he's no James Cook, right? He's not as good as James Cook, right? They're not even close. You got a guy that led the league in rushing, a guy that led the league in touchdowns a year prior, and you got an offensive line that he didn't once have, that can run block better, that can pass protect better. So he has even more to work with than he did when he was here before. Which, by the way, when you're in the red zone or in goal line situations, it's all about the trenches and winning in the trenches, right? If you don't have that offensive line, you're going to struggle, right? Now we do. So I do believe with the addition of the offensive line getting better, with the addition of James Cook, Brian Dable will be much better. And that's 1 point. And 2, remember, Brian Dable will be our head coach, right? If he brings in a Davis Webb, a young, innovative offensive mind, and they get together and get this offense really going, you're going to see some really good shit, right? And then you got the defense, like I said. Then, if you can get a guy like Schwartz in here in the building, now we're talking. Now you got a well-rounded coaching staff. So I understand where you're getting at with Dable. I get it at times. It was a little frustrating, but I much rather go... I trust way more in Brian Dable's offensive scheme than I ever did with Joe Brady or Ken Dorsey. Matter of fact, I trusted Ken Dorsey's offense better than Joe Brady in Ken Dorsey's first year here. We were a top 5 offense. Josh Allen was still, throwing the ball downfield. We were still getting guys, he was still scheming guys open. We still had Stephon Diggs here. He understood player strength still. So, trust me when I tell you, man, I truly believe if Dable got hired here, He has a lot more to work with than he did years prior when he was here as OC. And he doesn't have a head coach who's fighting him on it. He's the head coach. He would be the head coach. He would have an OC that he can hire, that they can relate, that they can bounce back ideas with, right? As far as the playbook and what they want and what Brian Dable's vision is, what his OC's vision is. And it would be a very good offense, in my opinion. Very good. So trust me, Randy, and look, you can have your opinion, but I'm telling you, that move makes sense. And Brian Dable would have what he didn't have before, which is an offensive line and a running back, and he doesn't have Sean McDermott playing tug of war with the offense. Pat's struggling with this guy, and we are sitting at home. Can't make this. It's fucking terrible, isn't it? That's an obvious troll account, Tommy. I know he's actually been here. And maybe, I don't know. Maybe he is a troll. I don't think so, though. He's been here. I mean, we've seen him here over the last month, I think. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anyone's intentions anymore. But he's actually talked good conversation with us as well. So, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. But I've seen him here before, and he's been cool on the show at times. And I'm not even taking offense to that question. It's just, and trust me, he's not the only one that brings up that comment about Allen and accountable and all that crap. But I don't know if he's that. I don't think so. What about holding the defense accountable for giving up third and longs, no quarterback sacks? Yep, a long touchdown drive 4 minutes ago. Yeah, exactly. Robert. Exactly. Right. Saying Allen's the turnover machine is ridiculous. He went 6 playoff games. Exactly. Watched the Rams game, 44-42. We had a quick drive before the half. McJoke is too situational. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Josh Allen shouldn't have fumbled the ball, even though Sean called it. But at the same time, Sean shouldn't have called the play before. Exactly. So, look, we talk about that play, and I've talked about that play multiple times on different podcasts, Dan Mitchell's podcast, on my podcast, on the AFC Shakedown. Like, we all know that Josh Allen should have been more, that Josh Allen should have known better. That Josh Allen shouldn't have been so careless with the ball, right? We can all agree with that. Like, I don't think anybody would disagree with that. However, he should have never been put in that situation, right? Like, look, you could leave it up to, and I said this on the Shakedown show, you could leave it up to any quarterback in the NFL, and I'll give you an example. On a 4th down and 5, let's say, it doesn't matter where you're at in the field. I think every quarterback would be okay with going for it. Every single quarterback in the NFL would want to go for it, right? Even on their own 20, let's say, right? Because that's a quarterback's mentality, right? However, it's up to the head coach to go, slow your roll. We're punting the ball here, right? Like, no, we're not doing this, right? Like, I got to team the coach here, and that right? It's not about you here. I like your enthusiasm, but I have a job to do. We're not going to do that, right? We're gonna go ahead and punt that ball. And on that particular play, Sean McDermott, right? For me, should understand game flow. I'm very big into game flow. What is game flow? How the game is going up to that point. Are the Bills scoring at will? Are the Bills throwing the ball deep downfield, getting chunk yards? Are the receivers beating their man easily? Right? Can we get downfield with 16 seconds and no timeouts with ease? Right? And set up a field goal. Right? I'm looking at the game, how it's gone so far, and I'm going to say, well, no. Right? We haven't done that all year. We don't have that kind of offense, right? This isn't a fast-paced offense. Correct. I think we can all agree. We have no timeouts. We have turned the ball over multiple times already. We have, 10 points right now. We're only down 7. We have the ball going into in the second half. Let's just go ahead and kneel the ball here. We'll adjust at halftime. We'll come out this second half. We'll go ahead and, let's hopefully put some points up. We'll tie this thing up, and it's a brand new ball game. That's what I would have done, because I'm looking at how everything has gone up to that point. Let's make sense of it. Let's not make a mistake here, right? Let's not get this thing out of control. Let's not get all the momentum going in their favor in halftime, right? Right. But he chose not to do that. Just like he chose to do a fake punt in the playoffs and used, Damar Hamlin as the guy to do it. Of all people on our own side of the field. But yet in the same game, he chooses to go for a field goal instead of going for it. You're going to be aggressive there, be aggressive there. Like, make it make sense. So, Sean McDermott has always been that kind of coach. He gets tight in these situations, and he gets out-coached. Good points, Tommy. I understand your points. I would like going for Webb. Don't mean to seem disagreeable with you, as I respect. No, I get you, Randy. And by the way, Randy, dude, I appreciate you, man. You're always awesome on this channel. You're always in the chat giving your opinions. You're a loyal subscriber, so I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate every single one of you guys, by the way, that has shown my channel love throughout the years. So, Randy, thank you. No, there is no. You are not, being disrespectful by any means or disagree. I get it. Like, and by the way, even if you did, that's okay. Like, everyone can have their opinion. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm only voicing my opinion. I'm not trying to push it on people, right? There's a big difference, right? And there is some channels out there that instead of voicing, they try to push it on you, or they try to call people dumb, or down talk you. I don't do that here. I'm going to voice my opinion pretty heavily, but I'm also going to respect yours. And and if we go back and forth, I always give you the agree to disagree, and we move on, right? There's we shouldn't have to make it personal, right? But I understand you're on Davis Webb. Now, mind you, Davis Webb still could get the opportunity to be OC. He hasn't even been OC in the league. I think all he is over in Denver here, he's the pass game coordinator. So he's not even OC, right? Like, so, this would be an opportunity for him to, get his name even higher in the ranks as far as a potential head coaching job in the future. For me, I take that gig. You know what I mean? Like, let's say he doesn't get the head coach job, right? Let's say we wait around, we interview him, and we go, you know what? We're going to go with Dable. And Dable goes, yo, Webb, you want to come here? Like, if I'm Webb, I'm taking the opportunity big time, because you're going to an organization that already has a guy very well in Josh Allen, a team that is a playoff team already. Let's be real, guys. I know maybe some of you guys disagree. I don't. I think this is still a playoff team regardless. And you're with Brian Dable, a guy very well. That was your offensive coordinator while you were here. So, yeah, like I'm taking that on, because now, if you're successful here, which you should be, your name is now going to be really thrown around for a head coaching opportunity, and there's going to be more than just one or two teams calling for your services, right? So if I'm Davis Webb, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm taking that role first. I'm getting my name out there. I'm building this offense up where people go, damn, Davis Webb just became OC, and Buffalo Bills offense it's clicking. Like, that offense is scary good, right? Who is this Davis Webb? He's everything that we talked about, right? Buffalo, can we talk to Davis Webb? And then it is what it is from there, right? Like, but that's what I would do. I think if Dable is the head coach, Gabe Davis and Gilliam will be both back now. So, Trek, Gabe Davis is done for the year. He won't even be back next season anyways. So he tore his ACL on his same leg, same knee. that he had the year before. He also tore it late in the season, in the playoffs. So usually it takes about a year to recover. And if you really look at Gabe Davis, it took him a long time this past one to recover. And I still feel like he wasn't 100%. Even when he got back, he still was a little bit lingering. Recovery, he probably was at 80% of the time, just kind of getting back into, knee stretching. And it still probably was still feeling a little effects of it. So trust me when I tell you, Gabe Davis, to me, for sure, I don't see him back next year on any team. And in fact, I don't know if that could be potentially career ending, because that is just really tough to bounce back from when you have it on the same leg. And what team, is going to take that chance on a guy that has had 2 ACLs already on one leg? And it wasn't like Gabe Davis was the Gabe Davis of old when we initially got him back, right? And I respect the hell out of Gabe Davis, but his game wasn't, at an all-time high level when we got him back, where Gabe Davis stepped on the field and that dude was just making plays, right? So, teams are going to look at that and go, he didn't do much in Jacksonville. Then he got the ACL, then he went to Buffalo, and then he came back and he was average at best. And then he got hurt again on the same leg. So no, he's done. And Gilliam, you know what? I would absolutely like Gilliam back. No doubt about it, because he's a really good special teams player, and I think he does the best for the tush push. That dude is super reliable. He gets behind Josh, and he makes sure Josh Allen picks up the yards he needs. So I absolutely would want Reggie Gilliam back. No doubt about it. Gabe Davis, he's gone. Don't even worry about Gabe. All right, second half just started. 3rd and 3 coming up. New England with the ball at their own 37. May in shotgun. May back to throw. May hands it off. It looks like a first down. Depends where they mark it, though. It looked like he got enough. We'll see where they mark the football. Wow, I didn't not realize Frank Reich is 14 years older than Dable. Yeah, Frank Reich's been around, bro. You forget, Frank Reich is not a young guy. I'm not saying he's old, but he's been around. He's been around the league. Gilliam got to go, waste of roster spot. Yeah, he is gone. He's gone. Guys, a lot of guys are gone. A lot. Go look at, when you got time, guys, go look at the roster. Go look who's available. Go look who the Buffalo Bills are losing as far as free agents go. I don't see a lot of guys coming back. I got to be honest with you guys. I don't think they're going to re-sign Matt Milano unless Matt Milano wants to come back on a cheapy 2-year deal. And I don't even know if I want Milano back. Even though I thought Milano actually played pretty well down the stretch, I think it's time for the Buffalo Bills to move on, right? Where are they going to put Terrell Bernard? Is another question, right? Do they maybe move on from Bernard, right? That's another question. I don't think they do, but we'll find out. You know what I mean? What they wind up doing with him. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see if I can find the list of free. I can't right now. But yeah, anyways, back up Bernard. I'm gonna still look for that list of free agency, but I think for me, you push him out to outside linebacker, right? That would be. I think it fits him best, right? But we'll find out. It all depends on what DC comes in here where he feels like he's best fit. But I feel like outside linebacker would be best suited for him. Webb is getting an interview. Yes, he is. But once again, there's a lot of guys getting interviews. I want to look too much into these interviews. Every team right now is kind of doing their thing with getting guys in there to kind of a feel out process. But I feel like every team right now kind of has their eyes set on one particular coach. They just like the draft, right? When you go through the draft, right, they probably have a board, right? Bean and Bagula and the assistant GM. I'm sure they have a list of candidates from top to bottom. You know, and you know, the good they bring, the potential bad they bring, you know, the pros and cons of each guy. You know, honestly, it's kind of like the draft, right? They have their big board up. By the way, May just took off, and he is taking off, and he is taking off, and he is down to the 15. And that was a 3rd and 9, and he picked up a big chunk of yards. Denver did not have a spy there, and there was a wide open lane. And that was a big 3rd and 9. If Denver would have got a stop there, more than likely Patriots pumped the ball there, or it would have been a really long field goal, and May picked up, 25 on that. Yeah, there was no spy, and the field was wide open. So New England at the Broncos 17. All right, handoff, and that goes nowhere. Matter of fact, they probably lost a yard depending on where they spot the ball. So we got a 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 10 coming up. I think Gilliam, longest lasting fullback in Bills history. He may be. I don't mind him though. Tommy, you think the NFL will ban the tush push? Nah. And look, stupid Sean McDermott wanted the tush push to be banned, yet we ran it probably the most outside of Philly. And it was very successful here. I don't see a reason why you would ban it. Why? Well, that's part of football, right? You got to win in the trenches, man. If you can't win in the trenches, then it is what it is, right? Like, that's football. That is football, man. For me, you don't ban it. Absolutely not. Because I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't. Again, if the coaching is stellar next year and Allen misses wide open throws, no more excuses. But if Allen still puts you in positions to win the game, can we say the same for whoever our defensive coordinators that gives up a game-winning drive? So I'm going to say this with your capital letters. Again, if our quarterback puts us in a position where we are ahead and our defense gives up a touchdown, then come on, man. Like, he's not perfect. Nobody's saying Josh Allen is perfect. Nobody's saying that he didn't have some misses. Of course he did. So again, what are we talking about here? You know, stop, man. No one's making excuses. What are we talking? Why do you want to bring this back up, dude? I don't know how many times. I don't give a fuck how poorly he played up until the point. Did he give us an opportunity to win the game? The answer is yes. Right? What about the games that he clearly played great in and the defense gave up 38 points? Right? Are you gonna go back to that game like, bro, if Allen only didn't miss that, couple throws and stop. Come on, man. What are we doing here? He's not perfect. You expect perfect. You want perfect. It's not going to happen, bro. He's going to miss some throws from time to time. He's going to make mistakes. What I want is, how do you respond from those mistakes? Right? Can you respond and get us the lead back? I'm good with that. We'll worry about that shit later. Because you know what? You responded, and now it's my opportunity to get my defense right and get a stop here and get us the win and get us the hell out of town. It's as simple as that. Like, come on, man. It's crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy that some of you guys are just, again, same results, different coach. It's all on. Well, again, I got to say you're wrong. I don't know if you're, again, you're just here to, you want to prove your point. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't agree with your point. And you don't have to agree with me. But we're going to have to agree to disagree on here, because I don't think we're going to keep going back and forth. You can keep doing your capital letters with again all you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you how I feel. And, okay. So if you look, are you a Bills fan? If you're a Bills fan, fine. If you want a new quarterback, then fucking let it be known. And you know, maybe one day in the future, the Bills move on and they get themselves a quarterback that you just absolutely love and makes no mistakes. That hits every fucking throw. Perfect, perfect every game. We won't even have this conversation. I mean, we'll find out. Let me know, though. Let me know when you find that quarterback that's just absolutely perfect. Because I haven't seen him. Every quarterback has his moments. Every quarterback has misses throws. Every single one, bro. There isn't one quarterback in this league that hasn't missed throws or hasn't had a bad game. Like you're gonna call this guy out for having some bad moments? Come on, man. I'm just saying. Look, I don't hate your opinion. I respect it. I respect everybody's here. But at the end of the day, man, we look. We all want to be perfect in life. We all want to go in life and not make mistakes as individuals, right? But we're all guilty. We've all had bad moments. We all have had bad moments in life. We've all had bad mistakes. Every single one of us. Even the smartest man in the world, I'm sure, has done mistakes, right? He's fucked up in life. There's been a moment or two where he's fucked up. I mean, there's no perfect guy out there. Josh Allen has carried this team on his back since he's arrived. And I think a lot of us can agree with that. And if you don't agree, you don't agree. But I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like Josh Allen has put everything on the field week in, week out for this team. Blood, sweat, tears. He's always took the blame, even when he shouldn't have taken the blame, right? He's always held himself accountable. I think he's his worst critic, right? He's not this guy that's cocky guy going to the podium, blaming everybody else, pointing the finger at everybody. Also, when the guy got here, bro, nobody worked harder than Josh Allen to work at his craft, correct his mistakes, go and see a specialist for his mechanics. Go look at his completion percentage in college. It was like 57%. His first year in the NFL was like 58. Second year was 59. In 2020, when he saw a specialist, fixed his mechanics, understood what was going on, why he was making these mistakes as a quarterback, he went from 59% to 68% completion percentage. I believe it was 67 or 68 in 2020. And since then, it's been in the 65, 67 range ever since then, right? Nobody has worked harder than Josh Allen on this team to correct mistakes, to better himself. So that's why I defend him a lot when people are like, I can't believe Josh. He's the one. He's the problem. He's mistakes. Listen, man, nobody's carried this team more than him. Nobody has done more for this team than Josh Allen. I mean, he's our quarterback. He's our running back at times, right? The guy plays hurts every year, right? Like, he does a lot for this team. And I just feel like people forget about that. People just think that's just what he should be, right? And we should just be like, I don't know. It's just frustrating. Anyways, first and goal, they challenge it. It was unsuccessful. Denver loses their timeout. First and goal here. And they got to about the 3-yard line. So second and goal coming up at the 3. Tommy, people never want to put blame on Sean. They keep bringing up Sean got us out of the drought, and I agree with that, but Josh Allen had a lot to do with that. Exactly. 100%. No way that would first down with a joke. It looked close, I got to be honest with you. I don't know when they blew the whistle dead, though, because at the end, they kind of pushed them a little bit forward. I can't hear because I'm on with you guys. But second and goal here at the 3, May in shotgun. I would say look for a little... Oh, wow. They did a direct snap, and it backfired. They lost about a yard and a half. So you got a third and goal here. Denver's defense saw that coming, and they were all over it. So they were doing like a direct snap, fake over the head, and May pretended like, went over his head, but Broncos were not. They weren't biting. And yeah, they were all over that place. So third and goal right here, May in shotgun. Let's see what they do here. The big stand, if they can hold him to a field goal. May back the throw. May in trouble. May get sacked. That's a big sack for Denver, man. So, field goal coming up for the Patriots more than likely. I mean, if you're Vrabel here, you definitely want to get the points because this is that kind of game. You need to start taking points now. Josh turns over, gave up 16 points, and Josh scored 17 in the same time amount of time. Yep. Yeah, yelling. Who's yelling? Sack, yelling. Oh. I'm all caught up in the chat, by the way, so I'm going to scroll up a little bit, and maybe I did miss some. I don't think I missed any, though. Oh, maybe I did. Let's see here. If I missed the chat, guys, go ahead and put it in. Because I might have. Dawkins often gets blown up in the playoff. Dawkins is a really, really good tackle, left tackle. But I feel like sometimes, for whatever reason, he takes games off. And maybe, if you heard me say that, he would strongly disagree and would tell me to go to hell or, whatever, or just strongly disagree. But when I watch Dawkins throughout his career, I've seen him step up against the best and do an excellent job. But I've seen other games where he just seems like he's just not there, or I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he kind of just doesn't show up some games. So I would like to see more consistency from Deion Dawkins because I've seen him against the best. And he's handled his business against some of the best. But I've also seen him have some games, like I said, where it just doesn't seem like his head's there. He just doesn't, he doesn't show up for whatever reason. So that's something that he needs to figure out. He needs to look in the mirror and say, what can I do to be better? But overall, I think Deion Dawkins is an excellent left tackle. So I'm definitely not going to be the one to talk bad about Deion Dawkins. I just wish he would be more... I just wish he would not have those moments, if that's fair. I told you guys, I'm very fair, man. I see it how I see it, man. I try to really, look at everything as a whole, right? Like, look at the big picture and see why a player isn't performing well or why a coach isn't performing well. Why isn't a GM doing this or that? There's always more to it, right? And I try my best to at least put the pieces together as best as I can, right? Or what I know, and go, okay, maybe this is why. Maybe this is why, this happened. Maybe this is why the coach is coaching this style. Maybe, this is why Joe Brady's calling this style offense. Like, I try my best to kind of just put the pieces together and then obviously voice my opinion. So I agree with that take. Thank you, Kato. Randy, weather's getting bad in Denver, Tommy. How's the weather up there? I went to medical school in Toledo, not far from Detroit. Went to boat shows in Cabo before I moved to Florida. Michigan is cold. Yeah, so it's snowing all day. I mean, it's still coming down. I got looking out the window right now. That's what I was saying earlier in the podcast. If for some reason the podcast goes out, it's because of the weather. I lost electricity right before I went live. So thank God, knock on wood, it stays on, that it doesn't go off. But it's about 2 degrees. Well, let's see what temperature is right now. It is, let me get my phone out. It is, let's see here. It was 2 degrees yesterday, so it warmed up. So it is 15 degrees right now in Detroit. It's expected to snow here until they're saying about 9 p.m. it should stop. We'll see. I hope so, because I go to work on Tuesday and I need the roads to be clear. But yeah, it's cold, it's snowing. I'm not going anywhere. And I didn't plan to anyway. So today's game shows how good the Bills O-line played against the Broncos. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, look. That's what I was saying to somebody's, I think to Randy's take about Brian Dable earlier, that, about some of the flaws he had while he was here as OC, but he didn't have an offensive line like we have now. He didn't have a running back like James Cook. Like, I'm excited. Like, if he's our head coach and he brings in, a younger OC, I'm very excited to see what they could do. Drop pass by Denver. Jeez. That would have been almost a first down, potentially a first down there. You can't drop that pass. Anyways, 3rd and 8 coming up. But yeah, I'm excited. That it would be exciting to see what he could do with what he has now instead of what he had before. Now, I will say this though: what he had before, though, he had weapons. He had Diggs, he had Beasley, he had Brown. He had McKenzie, who was still a weapon, right? He's still, a guy he knew where to put him on the field and make him successful. Gabe Davis even, but I trust that, Dable would be able to get with Bean and, get guys here that fit into what Brian Dable wants, right? So I'm not even really concerned about that either. Like, he'll find, and by the way, we have Khalil Shakir. So Shakir would be that Cole Beasley, right? So I forgot about that. So Shakir 100% would be Cole Beasley. No doubt about it. I feel like Shakir's game would even get better. Now you just got to go out there and get your one like you had in Diggs, right? And I think Brandon Beane understands that. He'll get that. He'll provide that. And you're going to see a really good offense. That's if we hire Dable or really any offensive coordinator or offensive-minded head coach, that is, right? Like, we need that here in Buffalo. Like, the time is now. I'm done with the defensive-minded head coach. I'm done with focusing on defense. It's time to shift it back to offense. It's time to build around your franchise quarterback, right? And get this offense back on track. It's an offensive league, right? Come on, let's be real. Look, I'll even prove a better point. The elite defense is not in the playoffs right now. The best defense in the NFL that everybody knew was elite, and they were the Houston Texans. They are not in they got wiped out by the Patriots. They are not in the playoffs because their offense was not good enough. This is an offensive league, and it's time to shift that back to Buffalo. It's time to get that back right. McDermott was defensive-minded. He was old school thinking as far as how the offense should be ran, and it didn't work. And I feel the only reason it kind of, I guess, worked, it worked enough to get to the playoffs, is because of Josh Allen. And I truly believe that. I don't know if that really works with anybody else except for maybe a Patrick Mahomes with those receivers, with what we had on the field. Like, maybe with another quarterback, we're an 8-win team, maybe, right? Like 7, maybe. Josh Allen's what makes that team a 10-plus win team, no matter what, no matter who you got out there, right? And you all should be praising that. You all should be going, damn, Josh Allen did this with that? Josh Allen did this with that and with the OC calling the plays the way he's calling them? With Mr. Predictable Joe Brady? With vanilla Joe Brady? How many times are you going to call a first down run? Like 85% of the time. Come on, man. Josh Allen had a lot going against him over the last 2 years. With offensive coordinator, head coach philosophy, and not the greatest talent at receiver. And we want to sit here and we want to blame Josh Allen. Did we forget about that, guys? Did we forget about what he had to work with? Did we forget about the OC who's Mr. Predictable, who's Mr. Vanilla, who doesn't scheme things up for the receivers, who doesn't understand player strengths and uses them on his offense? Did we forget about that? Of course you did, because you want to just look at Josh Allen and be like, oh, he's so great. He should be able to work with anybody and be phenomenal. It's not how it works. The NFL is the ultimate team sport. You have to have teammates that do their job. You have to have coaches that do their job. right? Everybody plays a part. And that's why there's only one Super Bowl winner each season. There's only one team, right? By the way, it's snowing in Denver, boy. So 2nd and 10 coming up for New England. Tommy, people forget, in my opinion, Josh's best playoff game stretch was with Dable. I do believe, though. I believe that as well. I thought his best years were with Dable. Sorry that Cole Beasley, Wes Walker player isn't not a role in the NFL no more. Keon Size is more a slot now. Yeah, but Khalil Shakir could play that role. Absolutely, he could. I mean, let's be real. Shakir was probably, the best option, or most reliable option for Josh Allen through the last 2 years. By the way, Drake May picked up the first down with his legs. Once again, Denver, no spy, leaves the middle wide open. Really there's nobody there. Drake May takes off, picks up about 15, gets clocked at the end though, but seems to be okay. Shoulder hit the ground a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when it's this cold weather, the ground feels like it's cement. So yeah, those hits, you feel them. Denver has I don't know about elite. I would say they're very, very good. Keep me up to date, please. I will. Always, man. You got it, man. I hope you change that screen name of yours, that YouTube name, man, because it's driving me nuts, man. But if you feel like it's a turnover machine, that's more, it's your opinion, man. But I hope one day you you change that. So, because I'm just gonna call you, because I don't even like, it's a wild name. I'm just gonna call you. Geez, I gotta call you something, man. Oh, jeez, I don't know. I'll find something good to call you, man. Unless you come up with something. Oh, good throw by Drake May. To our old receivers and Matt Collins, who runs over somebody on the sideline, but he's all right. The guy's, I think it was the guy holding the fan. Maybe, I don't even know. But that was a big time throw by Drake May, and the weather is getting really bad here in Denver. And he put it right in the breadbasket of Matt Collins. That was a very good throw by Drake May. I got to give him credit, especially in this weather with that defense coming after him. All right, here we go. May and shotgun at the 30, hands it off. They pick up about, well, they're still going. They picked up about 3 or 4 yards there on that play. Should have been a 1 yard pickup, but he kept driving. The offensive line pushed him a little bit more. So you got a 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6 coming up with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter. So Denver, let me tell you, man, if Denver does not hold them here to a field goal, they're in trouble, because their offense just is just not, it's not good enough right now. Denver's offense in the second half, I think it's at 6 yards, if I'm not mistaken, in this third quarter. It's just not good enough. May throws, he's way off. 3rd and 6 coming up for New England. And I'm going to tell you right now, too, field goal in this weather is not going to be easy either, folks. So, by either team, obviously. So, curious what they do here if they don't get it on 3rd and 6, because it is windy. It is snowing hard in Denver, which will make it very tough to kick in that environment. So, very curious what they do here if they don't pick up this first down. They are at the 28. May and shotgun. May hands it off. So it was a shotgun draw that gets nothing. So 4th and 6 coming up here. I guess you got to go for the field goal here. It is in field goal range, but man, it is 4th and 7. Yeah, I mean, you have to, right? Like, you can't really punt it. He's 1 for 2 today. He missed the 63, which is understandable. He made a 23 earlier. This is a 46-yard attempt. But once again, this is in really harsh weather. So let's see what happens here. field goal is up, and it is wide right. Exactly kind of what I just told you guys. This is not going to be easy weather to kick in. So wide right, he had enough leg on it. But once again, kicking in this kind of weather, it just isn't easy. And he was way wide right. Well, maybe not. Looking at that replay there, he was about 2 feet off, foot off. McJoke didn't want Mac. He had too much influence, and maybe. And you know what? I like Matt Collins. I did, but I wasn't totally upset when he left. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I was so upset when Matt Collins left. I just wanted better receivers, right? But I like Matt Collins. If we would have re-signed Matt Collins, I still wouldn't have had a problem with it. But I wasn't like crying over it either. You know what I mean? Like, well, the guy went and got paid. Like he got a decent contract from New England, right? So, for me, I wanted them to upgrade, and they really didn't do that. Like they tried to sell us on Palmer, and Palmer was, let's be real, he was the third option in LA, and he couldn't even get on the field this year because of injuries, really. And when he was on the field, he wasn't effective. So, that's going to be an interesting one too. What do they do with Josh Palmer? They still could cut him. They'll eat some dead cap, but not, crazy amount, but they will. So once again, he's another guy that this boils down to whoever our new head coach is and his offensive coordinator. And what do they see in Josh Palmer? What do they see in Keon Coleman? Right? Because you're going to have to make your decision before the season starts. For me, I got to be honest with you. I saw enough of Josh Palmer. I did. And I don't think it's going to work. I don't see a good enough skill set where I would be willing to keep Josh Palmer. I'd rather take the hit. Keon Coleman, I do see a role for him still here. I'm not quite yet done with him. But if they moved on from Coleman, I still want to be upset about it. You know what I mean? So for me, you get rid of Curtis Samuel, you get rid of Josh Palmer. I think Keon Coleman, you have the conversation of what you want to do with him between your coach, OC, and Bean. And you go out there and you trade for a top receiver, period. And then for me in the draft, you are aggressive, and I want an aggressive draft. I want Bean trading up in this draft and being aggressive. I do not want us to start stockpiling draft picks again, where we're trading back to acquire multiple 6-round picks. Like, stop doing that. Like, that has not worked well. Let's move up in the draft. Let's be aggressive in the draft. And if you're gonna trade for a player, I don't mind. Trade the 1st-round pick for a receiver who is a guy that can move the needle, a true number one, a true go-to guy. Well, I'm all for that. Yes, please, right? Stop with the hoarding the picks. Matter of fact, Bean's most successful receiver came from a trade, Stephon Diggs. And I like Khalil Shakir. Everybody, acts like Bean didn't draft some decent receivers here. Khalil Shakir is a very good receiver, or a very good slot receiver. Gabe Davis was a 4th-round receiver. Say what you want, but Gabe Davis had some pretty good numbers here. And in fact, Gabe Davis gave us probably the best playoff performance by anybody outside of Josh Allen in an important game. Name another player on this Bills roster since 2017, right? That has come up bigger than Josh Allen and Gabe Davis in a big moment, a big game. You can't. I promise you cannot name another guy, right? It was those two. Not even Stephon Diggs had himself a moment like Gabe Davis. So we forget about that, right? Fans want to pile up on Brandon Bean on all these bad picks. He's had guys here that stepped up that were successful, right? And then he drafted guys like Wyatt Teller, who is a Pro Bowler, all-pro offensive lineman that McDermott forced out of town. But you forget about that guy. Did you forget about how good Spencer Brown is at right tackle, who Brandon Bean drafted? What about James Cook? Second round. I don't see anybody complaining about that pick. Huh? Right? But we want to call us trash. Oh, Brandon, trash. Draft picks are bad. He's brung some talent here, folks. And not only that, do you know where we draft every single fucking year? At the end of each round. Pretty much. Right? It's not like we're missing out on top 10 picks, guys. But you guys want to act like that, or not all you guys, but some of you. You want to act like we're drafting, we're having these draft busts that were top 10, top 5 picks. It's not the case. These are late round picks. And some of them have done very well, if not great. But you want to ignore it. Right? Oh, we don't want to talk about James Cook. We want to talk about, Cody Ford. Right? Come on. If you're going to talk about the bad, talk about the good. If you're going to talk about the good, talk about the bad. That's fair. But don't just focus in on what he did wrong. That's so easy. Just like it's easy to focus on just the good. Come on, folks. Let's be real. But people can't do that. My shit, I don't like McDermott, but even I give him some love for what the good that he did while he was here. Right? It wasn't all bad. But once again, people want to just stick to what they want to stick to. McJoke. I like Weston. If y'all don't know Weston, he's a Chiefs fan, obviously. But he's loyal to the channel. Him and Triggs, that's another Chiefs fan. G-Pick is another Chiefs fan that are loyal subscriber here to the Mafia Sports Report. We talk also on X. Good dudes, man. Really good dudes. I've never had a problem. Oh, drop pass in and out of the hands of the receiver for the Broncos. Man, oh man. Good play by the defender too, though. Let me see here. It's actually a good throw by Stidham. It was actually a really good play by the defender. So, got in there last second and pretty much got his hands there and got the ball out of the hand. It's going to be tough right now to catch the ball too in this weather. Denver's in some trouble, man. They really are. They cannot get anything going on offense. They got 7 points up to this point. You got 14 minutes to go in the game. 4th and 5. Denver going with the punt. Good punt, by the way. Did it go in the ends? It did. So, damn. I thought it maybe went out. But anyways, Patriots will have the ball at their own 20 when they return from commercial break. Bye-bye. I used to call him McDummy. We called him so many names. McClappy, McDummy, McDummit, McAdios. Big joke. You guys are a trip. Just see Mike Vrabel on the sidelines into the game. McDermott just staying there. Yeah. And he'd be tightening up right now. You know he would be. That's what he did. I think Wyatt Teller is a free agent this year. He may be, but he's going to be a costly one. We also got... Oh, what's up, Ravens? Come on now. Don't do that to me. Ravens for Life's also been a good subscriber to the channel, but come on now. Don't be that way. Why you coming here with that talk? You know we don't suck. I don't know why you're saying that, but that's a bad take. We don't suck. We're a playoff team year in, year out. We have one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I'm a realistic fan. I'm not going to say the Ravens suck. Even though you had a bad year, you still have a good team. You still have a good roster, right? You could turn it around. But to say the Buffalo, but maybe you're just having fun. But and I know that the Bills don't suck. This is not a bad team. This is a team that's a good team that's had some bad ending results in the playoff. But this is a team that can definitely, be right back in the playoffs again, which I believe they will. They just need to find themselves a head coach now, and I believe they will too. But Come on, Ravens, man. You've been here long enough. You know I'm not going to buy into that talk. If we were a team that was in and out of the play, like 1 year make the playoffs, 1 year don't, 1 year out, 1 year okay, maybe I could buy into that. But that's not the case, and I won't. Maybe you're joking or whatever. I don't know, because you've been loyal here. You've been a good subscriber, but like that's a silly take. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy. Anyways, back to the game. Ravens fan, I don't know why you're mad. Don't be mad because your team didn't have a good year this year. Don't come in here and bash on my Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? Like, you got your own trouble in Baltimore, right? You guys got to, regroup yourself, right? Like, let's be real here. And I don't even think you guys suck. I just think you guys needed a change, and you made that change. And probably should have happened, and that's okay. And we made a change too. But yeah, that's a bad take. But I don't know. Tommy, don't pay attention to really. Yeah, but he's my. It's funny. I know Ray. I know this guy. Like, he's been it's just odd. I'm getting some weird comments by subscribers that I've known here for a while. That's why I don't know if they're just having fun or just poking the bear, just having fun with me. But I don't know. I think sometimes fans get a little upset too about their own stuff that's happening on their own teams. I don't know. I have no idea. Look, I'm just here having a good time with you guys. My team's out of it. Our team's out of it. Most of the people here right now are probably Bills fans that are watching me right now. It is what it is. I'm here enjoying it with you guys, talking Bills football, talking Patriots, Broncos. I'm not going to sit here and cry about shit that's out of my control. Like, it is what it is. We lost in the playoffs again. And we fired our head coach for a reason. Plain and simple. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Doesn't mean we suck. So I don't get it. I don't get the comment. But what, Ravens fan, you're still cool with me. I don't get the comment. I really don't understand it. Tommy, Steelers fans are pissed that the Steelers. See, I don't get that. I'll be honest with you. I think it's a great hire. And, maybe they're just upset because they just, they moved on from a coach that's been there a very long time, Super Bowl winning head coach, but they're getting a Super Bowl winning head coach right back, right? Who's won just as many as Mike Tomlin, right? Let's be real here. Mike Tomlin won one Super Bowl. Guess who won one as well? Mike McCarthy, right? What has also been Pittsburgh's problem over the last, 5 years? 5, maybe more years? Their offense. What does Mike McCarthy know very well? Offense. What does he also know very well? Quarterbacks, right? He's worked very well with some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, right? If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm going, damn, our defense is still pretty good, right? We need help on the offense. We need to find a quarterback. Well, guess what? You just got the guy that could do that. What are you fucking crying about? I really don't understand fans sometimes. I don't get it. By the way, New England just punted, and it went out of bounds about at the Denver 30-yard line, even though it looked like it went out at 32, but whatever. But yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. But once again, I'm as honest as I could be how I see it. Now, once again, I'm not a Pittsburgh fan. I don't follow their team, like that. So maybe there's more to it. But when I'm looking at that team and I'm looking at why they have been or what has been their Achilles heel, what has, set that team back for a while now is their offense and not having the replacement of Ben Roethlisberger and a coach that is respected to Mike Tomlin but hasn't done anything since he's lost Roethlisberger. Hasn't replaced the quarterback. Hasn't got the offense back on track. So now you get a guy who could do that for you. So what is the problem? What did you want back? Like, what did you want as a Steelers fan? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I think this is a perfect fit. And he's from Pittsburgh. Like, he has ties there. Like, what are you complaining about? You act like this is a bum-ass coach. I would have taken him here in Buffalo, to be honest with you. But when I got to thinking about it more, I felt like Brian Dable's a better fit because of everything I said way earlier in the podcast. Right? But there's nothing wrong with Mike McCarthy. I feel like these fans are just, they're being big babies. I gotta be honest with you. They're being big babies. I would rather go get Twyler and then bring back McGovern. Okay, I see what you're saying. Wyatt Teller, you're saying. You would rather go get Wyatt Teller than bring back McGovern and Edwards. So for me, I'm letting both McGovern and Edwards walk. McGovern wants a big contract, and I like him as a center, but I'm not crazy about him as a center. I think he's good. I don't think he's great, but he's good. He's really good. But I'm not trying to pay him great offensive, or I'm not trying to pay him great center money either, right? Like, and David Edwards, look, I would resign him as a depth guy and draft a guard and have him compete at least with Edwards. But I wouldn't, if Edwards wants to get starter money long term, I'm letting Edwards walk as well. I think Edwards was actually our weakest link on the line. I think SVP is the future at center. I still believe that. That's what he played in college. He's a true center. He just needs to get, be worked with a little bit more. It sucks that we lost Cromer, to be honest with you. He would be the only coach I would want back here in the McDermott era, right? He's the one guy I would believe that could still work with this offensive line and get it better. But if we get ourselves a good offensive line coach to work with SVP, that could be our future center right there, no problem. He could, go ahead and we put them in for McGovern, let McGovern walk. But they'll be okay. I believe they'll find their replacements either through the draft or free agency. Tommy, another play that people forgot in the playoff game versus Denver. Josh threw another deep ball to Brandon Cooks, but Cooks didn't get his 2 feet in bounds. I forgot about that. You're right. And Cooks had a big problem with that this year. Also, would he always juggled the ball around. Nothing was he never had a clean catch. Boy, I got to say the Broncos running back right there, what an idiot. So if he would have just kept going straight instead of cutting back like he did there, he probably picks up the first down. It's 3rd and 1 there. He actually got lucky. It looked like he lost the yard, but they said forward progress, I guess. But so it's 3rd and 1 coming up here. I felt like if he would have just ran, if he didn't do that jump cut, he would have got the first there. So it's 3rd and 1 here. 10 minutes to go in this game. It's on Denver's own 39. So let's see what they do here. See, I don't like this. Stidham and shotgun. Let's see what they do here. So it's a shotgun draw to the running back. Okay, it worked out. See, well, all right. But for me, you get up to the line there, but that's all right. Or you get under center. I'm sorry, you get under center. And you would still have Anderson that could play guard. Yeah, and I like Alec Anderson, by the way, too. Alec Anderson is for me. You keep around here. He's a good depth piece. A guy that could come in and fill in as well for different, or you can get him in different play calls as an extra blocker / tight end almost, right? He could be that kind of guy. Like he's been that before. So I like Alec Anderson. He could play multiple positions: center, guard, tackle. That's a good. So send him back to throw, and he just throws it out of bounds under pressure. So New England's just, listen, they're doing exactly what I thought they would do, exactly what I would do if I was New England, which is just keep on pressuring them. Play aggressive, play your man defense because they have good corners here, and just basically, make Stidham beat them, and I just, Stidham for me just isn't good enough. And look, the Denver's defense has really done well. It's 10-7, guys, and really, Patriots got 7 on a bad turnover by Stidham. So terrible throw there. Luckily, it's incomplete because they would have lost a couple. 3rd and 10 coming up for Denver. 9 minutes to go in the game. Right now, Sean Payton needs to. I know it's tough. You got a backup quarterback, but you better get the best, most innovative plays in your playbook. You better start using them. I have no idea where that throw was going. It almost hit his alignment. That was a bad throw. I mean, I know where you're going, but it was just a bad throw. All right, Stidham shotgun, 3rd and 10. Back to throw. He just got the playoff, by the way. Completed to, I don't know. Either way, it's 4th down. I can't see because of the snow, but it's going to be 4th and 4 coming up. And the problem is, man, they're just bringing 4th and 7. I said 4th and 4. They're bringing in so much pressure, and nobody's really kind of getting open for Stidham either, that he's having to throw everything short and underneath, and it's just not good enough. All right, so 4th and 6, Denver going to punt here on their own 47. I mean, you have to. The way the Denver's defense is playing, there's still time in this game, 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Good punt, by the way. This goes down to New England's 10, it looks like, or at the 9. So great punt by the punter for Denver. But the biggest issue here is Denver's offense. I mean, I hate to say it, but if Denver's offense had Bo Nix today, this could be a different story for New England. 10 points is not going to win you many ball games. But with Denver's offense being so bad today with a backup quarterback, obviously 7 is not going to do it. So that's the problem, folks. Cooks would be a good third out. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind if Cooks wanted to come back on like a cheapy deal. I'd make him a third receiver. You know what I mean? If that's what he wanted to do. You know, the problem with Cooks is, man, his hands are just, man, he just doesn't have reliable hands. A lot of those passes, he was fumbling around, like bobbling the ball a lot of times. He has to work on that. I don't know. But I don't even know if they may not, they may move on from him as well. May is 10 for 20 today. Yeah, not the greatest day for Drake May. They're also bringing a lot of pressure on Denver's defense as well. With May, it's not the best environment in Denver right now with the weather, obviously. And on top of that, obviously, the defense of Denver is bringing a lot of pressure. So you got the defense and you got the element, right? The weather element on the side of things. So yeah, it's not a good day for a quarterback right now in Denver. But at the end of the day, right now, at least New England has the lead. So we'll see what happens here. It's still anybody's ball game, but I haven't seen anything from Denver since that opening or that second drive of Denver that got them the touchdown. Outside of that, Denver's been flat. Nothing going on for Denver. And they're only down 3. There's a field goal. I mean, that's it, right? But they can't get it going. Yeah, I got 8 minutes, 21 seconds to go. Let me pull up the I don't know what happened there. Let me pull up the screen or the box score here so you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing here. So, and I'll remove that in a minute. So, obviously, 10-7. We know 8:21 to go. Here's the box score. As of right now, we got Drake May, 10 of 20, 86 yards. Not the greatest. Stidham, 15 to 28, 132 with a touchdown. So, really, Stidham is having a better, statistical game than Drake May at this point. Stevenson, 19 carries, 63 yards. RJ Harvey, 12 for 40. That's the other thing about Denver. They just don't have a good rushing attack. If they did, oh man, May got sacked. It looked like a player tripped first, and then he just kind of got caught up. So not a good not good right there. It looked like, oh yeah, it was supposed to be a handoff or maybe a play action, but because of the, because of the snow, the player slipped on the snow and fell. So, not good. So yeah, those are the stats right now offensively. You can see, they're having a tough time, offensively, both teams really. Just getting their feeding. You got a second down run there. It picks up about 2, 3. He should have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage, but he got 2 yards. So 3rd and 11 coming up right here. Very curious what they do here. If you want to risk it here, or they play a safe route, run the ball, get a little bit more room to punt it. Because the reason why I say that is because New England's defense has been playing really good. The Broncos offense hasn't done anything for you. You don't really want a mistake here. We'll see. May in shotgun, May rolling out, May throwing, May way off. May throws it out of bounds. 4th and 11, and the Patriots are going to punt it. It was actually a smart decision to throw it away there. He knew what he was doing there. That was smart play by May. He didn't force it. You don't want to force something there to have the ball turnover, because then it's easy peasy for the Broncos offense. They got great field position if he turns the ball over. So I'll tell you what, Broncos should have good field position here, with New England kicking it in their end zone and with the weather. So let's see what this punter has. Let's see what kind of leg he has right here. And it's a bad kick, folks. I don't know where it went. But it didn't look like he kicked that. My God, the ref is still running. That was a terrible kick. This is great field position for Denver. I don't know how long that kick was. That could not have been long. What was that, a 35-yard punt? I can't see where the ball's at, though. It didn't look like he had much on it. Weather is terrible in New England. Josh would have had a... you mean in Denver. This is in Denver. This year in 13 seconds year, we're taking the AFC. Bill players have to be sick watching the... Oh, you're saying because we would have played in New England. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I kind of read that wrong, Randy. I apologize. Yeah, I agree. Weather is terrible in New England. So, I'm with you on that. Like, advantage Josh Allen, because he's played in that environment. He has way more experience in that environment. Drake May, now mind you, obviously he's been in New England, 2 years now, and they've had obviously weather games like this, but never in the playoffs, right? This is Drake May's first year in the playoffs. You're going to a hostile environment in a bad weather game. Josh Allen handles these games very well, right? Like, he's been there, done that. It doesn't matter about the environment, right? Maybe early Josh Allen it mattered. Man, they're showing the first play and how the weather got so bad from first quarter all the way to the fourth quarter. And yeah, this is crazy. Like how bad the weather has gotten and the amount of snow that is on the field. So they lost 2 on that. They are at Patriots 35. They don't want to keep losing yards here, Denver. Like you don't want to make it tougher for your kicker. Nothing. I think they picked up the 2 they lost. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up here. No, matter of fact, no, 3rd and 12. They don't even give him 2. I thought he got at least 2 there. You got a 3rd and 12 coming up here. Sean, you got to get more yards here for a field. You can't, with this weather. I believe they already missed the field goal from earlier, right? So, you gotta get some more yards here. You don't necessarily need to pick a first down, but you want to get at least 7 here. All right, Stidham running. Stidham got about 7. So Stidham pick about 6 or 7 yards there. Interesting decision here. Do you go for a field goal here? The ball's going to be at the... Boy, I got to say, the Patriots defender there. Okay, no, he did good. He hopped over him. Okay, so 4th and 5. They are going for a field goal here. 5 minutes to go in the game. Here we go. Very important field goal here. Oh, you're ahead of me? Oh, man, 46-yard. So Lee says missed field goal. I'm watching on, oh, my God, it's terrible. That was a bad, that thing was wobbling all over the field. It was blocked. Okay, I was going to say, man, that thing was, it was just wobbling all over. So, once again, Denver fails to, yeah, it was blocked. So, Denver fails to get points on the board again. And you know what's funny? Even though it was tipped, it still had enough leg. He still had enough leg on it, actually. If it would have straightened out there. So that's funny. Wide left, yeah. So look, there's still time in the game here, but Denver's just really, man, they're blowing it here. They're blowing it. They've had opportunities here to put points on the board a couple times now, and that's 2 missed field goals. I mean, technically, they'd be up in the game right now. Well, actually, if you want to count the missed field goal by hand, so it would be tied right now if the kickers actually did their job. And I know it's tough to kick in this environment, but your job, you got one job, right? You got to do it, right? You're a field goal kicker. I've seen worse weather, and field goal kickers come up clutch. So that's your job, man. You got to do it. So anyways, New England does have the ball at their own, 35. This is going to be an important drive here. They're at the 38 now. But this is an important drive here for New England and a very important drive for the Broncos defense. You need another stand here, obviously, for the Broncos to hand off to Stevenson. That goes nowhere. A matter of fact, they lost 2 on the play. It's going to be bring up a 3rd and 9 here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Once again, if I'm New England, because Denver has not shown me that they can even put a field goal up, I am not risking any kind of throw here. I'm not saying don't throw it, but I would take a safe throw, even if it's not a first down. That's okay. You punt the ball. You let your defense do what it's been doing. I'm not doing anything crazy like throwing the ball downfield, and it looks like they're doing exactly what. Now, see, I would have still threw the ball there, but they ran the ball. They chose to run the ball there, and it is 4th down. The Denver Broncos yet again do their job. You got 3 minutes to go in this game. Denver Broncos with 2 timeouts, and this is it. For me, this is it. This is the drive. You don't do it here, the game's over. I mean, at least how I see it. So you got a 4th and 10 coming up for New England. They're going to punt the ball. Let's see what kind of punt this guy does now. Last punt he did was terrible. Pretty much shanked it almost. It was like a 30-yard punt. So we'll find out. We'll find out here. But this is do or die for me if I'm a Broncos fan. If your offense cannot do something here, then I believe that's the end of their run in the playoffs. So because at that point, time, there probably won't be enough time to do anything, right? And New England will just more than likely just run the ball and kill the clock and be done with it. So Ravens fan, no, don't throw, keep clock moving. I get it. And like I said, if you're going to throw it there, for me, I would have thrown a something short, 3-yard, 4-yard pass. Maybe you pick up, yards after catch. Maybe you get first, but I wanted to take a chance. But I understand the run too. I get it. Once again, your defense has been doing their job. Broncos have 7 points at this time. They haven't shown that they could do anything in the second half. So another not the greatest punt. It's going to be 1st and Denver. I don't know where they're at because the snow. But the ball is just kind of dying in the air on this guy's punts. Well, they're clapping his head like he was a good punt. Maybe it was better than I thought. I'm going to be sick having to listen to Pats in the Super Bowl for 2 weeks. This does kind of rub things in our face one year. Ravens. Well, hey, it's not done yet. I'm not watching any sports shows. Let's see what happens on this drive. Let's not, the game ain't over, right? It ain't over till it says 0. 3 minutes to go, 1st and 10. Denver has the ball on their own 32. Stidham in shotgun, which is where I would put him every single time. Or he pitches it and it goes for about a yard, maybe. They are just not getting anyone. I don't. Let me see here. Yeah, nobody's open. I got to be honest with you. There's no. Not that I saw there. There's nobody for. That was a funky throw. Kind of like just pitched it. Anyway, so you got a 2nd and 9 coming up. Denver has to do something here. You got 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go in this game. I mean, this could potentially be the game-winning drive if they score a touchdown, right? 2nd and 9 coming up. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Stidham back to throw. Stidham going deep. And it is intercepted. It was a terrible, terrible throw. I mean, god-awful. That was an awful, awful throw. I mean, it's just bad. He basically just gave them the ball. It just hung up in the air. It was just I don't know where he was going there. As a matter of fact, there was 2 defenders in the area too. Like it's just a poor throw. But I mean, in a way, I kind of almost understand. He's just trying to do something, make anything happen, but it was a poor job. So Denver has 1 timeout. They do have the 2-minute warning, which serves as basically as a timeout. There is an opportunity here still for Denver to get the ball back. But this is not looking good if you're a Denver fan. Here we go. So New England's going to run the ball here. Right. So handoff to Stevenson, who goes for about 4. And you got the 2-minute warning coming up. And here we go. So, if they pick up a first down, I'm pretty sure the game's over at that point. So, you got a 2nd and 6 coming up after the 2-minute warning. They're going to, if you're Denver, I'm selling out for the run. You got to sell out for the run here. I mean, and they might, listen, New England might catch them off guard with the play action on a 3rd down. More than likely, they're going to run here in 2nd down coming up after the commercial. Very curious what they do on 3rd if they don't get it on 2nd. If they try to be sneaky, catch them selling out on the run. That's something Andy Reid would do. But we'll see. It's really, really bad environment. If I'm Denver too, I am doing everything in my power to try to punch the ball away from Stevenson, who's known to fumble the ball, right? He has fumbling issues, right? I am doing everything I can to punch that ball out of Stevenson's hand. As if the season couldn't get any worse, Patriots go back to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean it's looking like it. What are the Pats upset Rams or Seahawks? I don't see it happening. But listen, anything's possible in the Super Bowl. I also didn't see the Giants beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So who am I, right? I can only go on what I see from the remaining teams: Rams, Patriots. Rams and Seahawks and Patriots. I feel like Patriots would be bottom on that list as far as overall team. I like the Patriots, offense and defensively, but I think Seattle has a better offense and defense as a whole. They got more playmakers. Rams definitely have more playmakers on offense, without a doubt. It's not even close. So, and the Rams defense is pretty good. I don't know if it's much better than New England, but they're close, right? But yeah, I don't know if they would beat either one of those teams. But when you get into the Super Bowl, anything can happen, and sometimes bad games happen. Sometimes players just don't show up or they have a bad game. It could happen, right? But you get there, you have an opportunity, right? You know what I mean? Buffalo Bills have yet to do that. You know, that's sad but true. You know, Josh Allen has never gotten to that opportunity to compete at the biggest stage. And that's why we ultimately moved on from Sean McDermott as well, guys. Like, you're talking about a Vrabel who came here year one with a second-year quarterback and is already potentially getting this team to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's wild, right? Sam Darnold, same draft class as Josh Allen, who's not the same quarterback as Josh Allen, is potentially going to a Super Bowl, right? All right, so the Patriots do run it. They get nothing. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. Denver does use their last timeout. So here it is. So they have no more timeouts remaining. With the way that Patriots defense is playing and the way the offense of the Broncos is not good, they have no timeouts. I am running the ball here. I know, you know, it's not an aggressive call. Andy Reid would probably do something different just to end the game and do some trickery here. But with the environment, with the weather, with the clock, with how Denver's offense has been, I am running the ball here and giving them the ball with just slightly over a minute left. Yeah. So Broncos, for me, I'm selling out right here on the run 1,000%. And look, I think they got the first down. They did a great play call there. It was a fake to the running back, and May bootlegged and got the first down. That will be game over. That was a great play call. They totally got the Broncos defense looking one way. And yeah, he picked up the first. He absolutely did. By about a good 2.5 yards, 2 yards. Game over, folks. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. That is it. And that was a kudos to McDaniel right there for an excellent play call. That caught the Broncos off. You know, they caught the Broncos sleeping right there. So caught them off guard. So yeah, the game's over, guys. So it was a fun time with you guys. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. This was more to just hang out with you guys on Sunday. I know it wasn't the funnest game in the world, but it was always fun to kick it with you guys, right? So I appreciate you guys taking the time, chilling with me. Yeah, Rams, Seahawks tonight, and we'll find out who's going to the Super Bowl. It really sucks that the Bills, didn't get an opportunity to play the Patriots. I would have loved to see that. I think the NFL would have loved to see that. I think that would have been a far more exciting game. I'm not saying necessarily we'd have beat the Patriots, but I think we would have had a better opportunity than the Broncos. And look, the Broncos really, to be fair, they did have an opportunity, but their offense was so bad that it just didn't happen. So anyways, Bills Mafia, it'll be all right, man. We'll be good. Let's just now, let's hope we get a good head coach. Let's hope we get, word on who our next head coach is going to be soon. And I will be back tomorrow, 10:30 on Dan Mitchell's YouTube channel. So look for that. And on Monday night, Uncensored, at 10 o'clock with me and Mikey. So, Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. Appreciate you guys once again for rocking with us. Diggs and Collins to the Super Bowl. Can't make shit up. Yep, I get you. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, But anyways, guys, I love you guys. And I will actually be doing a Super Bowl watch party as well. I do one every year because the Buffalo Bills are never in it. That's right. So, because if the Buffalo Bills were in the Super Bowl, I would definitely not be on watch party. Diggs going to make me more upset. Pats played against a scrub quarterback. They had the yellow brick road to the Super Bowl, like his schedule. Yeah, they had some breaks. I'm not going to lie. They definitely had some breaks. I don't know if this game's, this game may be different if Bo Nix plays. Let's be real. I mean, it could have been. Wow. All right. Tommy the Patriot. Fuck the Bills, says Thomas Busy. What's going on, Thomas? Thanks, Thomas. Staying warm, man. I appreciate you. Hey, Randy, thank you so much for rocking with me this season. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. And I'll also be on Dan Mitchell's channel at 10:30 in the morning. And, you know, I will be doing a Super Bowl watch party as well. So look for that. And, guys, I love you. Bills Mafia. And I'm out of here. Go Bills. Peace.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feel it all.